Here we go. It's not too late. Hell no. It's not too late. What's up, everybody? Welcome to the CODcast, episode 45, and we got a casual show for you tonight because I can already tell the ratings are going to suck. My lead into the show was, that's not it. My lead into the show was about Christianity, and like nobody gives a shit about Christianity anymore, so I'm just going to do a casual show, and already I'm smoking weed and everything, which I normally don't do on real shows. You can tell I'm laying back on my wedge, and I'm using my soft NPR voice, so you can tell it's a casual show. I basically do shows like this, usually on off days. I call them the super secret live streams, but now you get to experience this for yourself. It's just an intimate show, just me and you. And I love you guys. I thank you for joining me. It's Monday. Hope everybody's doing good out there, and so I'm going to read a lot of you guys' chats. I actually didn't think I was going to have a good show today, and I was going to tell you guys I didn't have a good show, because I'm always honest about this shit, but then I fucking, started laying it out, and good lord, I have a bunch of fucking shit to talk about. Didn't think anything happened this weekend. It's nothing major, and I actually think it's going to be a fun show, because I have a lot of wholesome videos and shit that are going to make you happy. It's going to be a little bit less depressing. I still got plenty of depressing shit in here, don't worry, because, it's reality we live in, and reality's depressing as fuck, but I do have a lot of cool, happy stuff to show you, so maybe we'll cheer everybody up. And as always, if you like the show, please consider supporting me on Patreon, patreon.com/CODcast. And hey, we're up to $538. We have the same number of patrons we did last time, but we now have $538 because I think somebody stepped up and gave me $100 or something a month. So that was very kind of you. I think I know who it was, and maybe I'll shout them out in a future episode. But I appreciate that. If you guys like the show, please consider supporting it. I'm losing lots of money doing this show, but I think it's important, so I'm going to keep doing it. And there's my Patreon. And also, as always, Super Chats, the lifeblood of the show, Super Chats. I'll answer any question you ask, no questions dodged. See if you can stump the band. It's the best way to support the show. So there's a little dollar symbol down there underneath the chat. You can click on it. You can tip me. It's basically like if you're watching me live, like I was doing a concert for you at a fucking bar or some shit, and you want to put little tips in my jar and shit to reward me for entertaining you for free. So please consider doing that, and most of the money goes to the Human Society of Mississippi Animal Sanctuary, where we rescue cute little dogs and kittens. You know all about that. So please consider supporting the show. So how's everybody doing tonight? Going to be heavy on reading the chats and stuff tonight because it's a casual show. That's what we do on casual shows. It's not too late. Yep, it's not too late. So did Mr. Atheist, Kyle, Stephen McRae, Rachel, and Telltale address their previous support of RR on the subject? No, he didn't. I know that Telltale Atheist messaged me to bitch at me for talking out about Matt Dillahunty, because I guess he's on Matt Dillahunty's nuts and doesn't think Matt Dillahunty has done anything wrong. I don't know how you could look into this situation and not think Matt Dillahunty has done anything wrong. In fact, we're going to cover more of that tonight. Some more people who were involved in that situation who resigned from the ACA. They did a live chat with Kevin Logan about it and gave their takes on it. Added the other takes we already have on this. And man, are you guys ready to be pissed off? It gets even fucking worse. So we're going to cover that in a few minutes. Krampus Wows, when was this? What are you talking about? Are you talking about when they appeared? They appeared yesterday, I think, with Kevin Logan. It was the treasurer guy and some other girl that was on the board, and they talked about how they were basically bullied and intimidated into voting against what they didn't believe in. And the girl actually said after it was all over, she cried on their 2-hour ride home because she was so ashamed of herself for being bullied and doing something she didn't want to do, because they basically surrounded her by these large men who were breathing on her neck. And it was I'll tell you about it. It was bad though, folks. This situation's bad. And the fact that no one really calling it out except for me. I'm one of the few people, me and Essence of Thought. Very few people are talking about this. It's kind of crazy, right? But I'm kind of used to that. I'm kind of used to being one of the only people in the community talking about subjects. It's if it's not about the left or SJWs or whatever, no one's really interested too much. It's kind of crazy. But anyway, we'll go over that. What situation? The ACA, which is the atheist community of Austin, was completely taken over by transphobic chuds and Rationality Rules fanboys, and all of the board who were supportive of trans people were voted off and resigned because they didn't like what the ACA, which is, the ACA runs the Atheist Experience, which is probably the most popular atheist show in the world. The ACA is probably the most popular atheist community in the world. They've done really good work for a long time, and it's really sad it got taken over by the chuds, didn't it? So, anyway, we're going to start the show by talking about Amazon's new show, The Boys. I don't know if you guys have seen this, but man, I cannot say good enough things about this show, man. It's got a 9.1 IMDb rating, and that's low in my opinion. Now, I hate superhero TV shows for the most part. And I did like the Endgame movie. I did like the Avenger movies. I think they're good. I think the Marvel Universe does good work. But as far as TV shows go, I thought the first season of Jessica Jones was good, but all the rest of the shows I didn't care for at all. But I watch Daredevil, and Daredevil has some amazing fight scenes. So what's good about Daredevil is they have like once every season they do these. I don't even know how the fuck they do it, how they pull it off, but they do these scenes. They're like 15-minute long fight scenes that they do all in one take, and it's incredible. But other than that, the storyline doesn't really impress me very much. I didn't really enjoy it, and I've seen pretty much all the superhero shows out there. I've watched Doom Squad. A lot of people have recommended that to me. I didn't care for it. You know, I've seen them all pretty much, and just boring to me. But The Boys did it in a way that I've never seen before, and I think it's probably the best show. That's the best new show that I've seen in years. And the social issues it tackles and the very, very clever way it does that is really what drew me in. It's a superhero TV show, but it's not very action-packed. It's almost like it's a drama more than anything. But it's really fucking well done. And anyway, in episode 4, they take on Christianity, and they do it in a really, really amazing way that I think they just nailed Christianity. And I'm not going to give you guys too many spoilers about the show. Like, what you read here in the synopsis it tells you pretty much, you know, as much as I'm going to tell you. The Boys is an irreverent take on what happens when superheroes, who are as popular as celebrities, as influential as politicians, and as revered as gods, abuse their superpowers rather than use them for good. It's the powerless against the super powerful, as the boys embark on a heroic quest to expose the truth about the Seven and their formidable vault backing. And basically, the whole show is making fun of nationalism and capitalism and corporatism and how our society worships celebrities, and it tackles Christianity and whatnot. I even heard that the guy that wrote this, I guess he makes comic books. He made The Preacher. Preacher's another good show I like. It's not nearly as good as this show, and I think he did a few others. But I think somebody told me he was actually like a lefty religious person, so he might still be more leaning towards religion than you would think. But by the time it got through the other like writers that added onto the show, and after all the production and stuff, they did a really good job of kind of crushing Christianity in this. So I'm just going to show you just a couple scenes. Like I said, no spoilers. It's going to be like 30 seconds, so you don't have to worry about it too bad. But just a couple scenes that I thought were really good at dismantling Christianity, or just funny. You know, especially seeing Amazon do this. I think a lot of people are going to have problems with this in the Christian community. You're going to hear a lot of controversy about this. They just haven't done it yet because the show just came out. Like, I guess it came out 3 days ago, so a lot of people haven't caught on yet. But anyway, we're going to take a look at the episode 5, and this is so going to get this whole podcast copyrighted, but it doesn't matter because they copyright everything I do anyway, right? I can't make money doing this through ads and stuff. That's why I have to fucking beg you guys to pay me every goddamn day, because it sucks to be me. But let's see, I think it's about trying to find exactly when that first clip is. There's a couple of them. God damn it, Dusty, where is it? Is it right here, maybe? Let's just check. It's where this blind guy is talking about Jesus.
Do you want to come?
You know what? I'll let you go ahead. Go round table those teens. We'll catch up later?
Yeah, sure.
I should have time-stamped it, but I think it's coming up here.
So Jesus said, hey, bro, bring it in. You shouldn't need proof. You should just believe because I say so, because you have faith. People who have faith, those are my peeps, y'all. That's what Jesus said.
So they're making fun of Christianity, but I mean, they're just doing it like dead on the nose, right? You know, you don't have to have proof, because I said so. Just believe, right? And then this guy, his name is Keith Urban, which sounds like a country music singer. Goes up and he gives, I think it's about 11 minutes in or something, maybe. Goes up and bitches at this guy. Maybe I'll skip that one because I can find that one. But the really cool one was at the end where this girl's giving her speech, and I'm only going to play a second of it. But some of the things she says in here, like, it's almost a verbatim, word for word, things I've said before. So I'm not saying that they plagiarized me, but they totally plagiarized me. So let's listen.
Public appearance was right here on this very stage with Ezekiel and the rest
Let me
of the family.
skip a little bit ahead.
You have no idea what you're really asking. You have no idea what I've been through. Every single word that I say up here, I'm reading from a script. I didn't write any of these words. I don't even know if I believe in them. I mean, I believe in God. I love God so much, but honestly, it's just how goddamn certain everyone is around here. Tickets start at what, $170, so that these people can tell you how to get into heaven? How do they know? How does anybody know? When the Bible was written, life expectancy was 30 years old. I mean, I'm not so sure you're supposed to take it literally. It also says that it's a sin to eat shrimp. What, if you're gay or if you're Gandhi, you're going to hell? I mean, and if you have sex before marriage, that's not immoral. That's human. What's immoral is the guy who shoved his dick in my face. Shit. Here's the truth. Anyone who tells you they know the answers is lying. And I know, I'm supposed to be this hero, idol symbol, whatever, but I don't know what the hell I'm doing. I'm just as scared and confused as the rest of you. I'm done pretending. And I'm done taking any more shit.
Anyway, that's basically what I say over and over again. Like, everybody's just desperately looking for somebody to tell them how to live their life and give them the answers, and nobody fucking knows, man. We're all just trying to figure this shit out just like everybody else. And the people that say they know, they're lying to you. They're just trying to get over on you and use you, because that's the way cons have always been. You know, faith has been used to con every person that has ever been conned since the beginning of mankind. You know, there's never been a single person who got conned that didn't get conned because they didn't have enough evidence to believe the things they were told, right? If you had enough evidence, you wouldn't have got conned. It's all based on faith. And so anyway, awesome show. Hopefully I didn't ruin it too much, and hopefully they don't fucking destroy my channel because I played that little 5-minute clip from the show. But highly recommend it. It's on Amazon, and yes, I understand the irony of praising a show on Amazon, which is probably the largest corporation on earth, has an incredibly anti-capitalistic and anti-corporate message. So not lost on me. But anyway, good show. Recommend that. Any of you guys seen that? What do you think about it? Scroll up here. Now I really need to watch this. Yeah, great show, definitely. And great casting. Like, everything about it's good. What I think's so good about it, too, is that Carl Urban. Yeah, sorry, I said Keith Urban. Carl Urban. What's so good about the show is the main bad guy is basically Superman. And so there's tension in every scene because everybody knows that he could kill them in a heartbeat, and nobody can do anything about it. You can't do anything to this guy. You can't beat him. You can't do anything. And so everybody's like terrified at all times. So there's, you know, that tension is always in the background of the scenes. And so it's really interesting. I think they did a great job, like I said. So on the nose a bit, though. Yeah, on the nose. But, you know, you got to, once you watch the whole thing, it spills it out brilliantly, in my opinion. Stars and Dusty, woohoo! Thank you. Spoilers are okay for me. I never watch superheroes. I don't usually watch it either. Like, well, that's not true. I do watch it, but I usually don't like it. I watch everything because I have OCD, and I want to know what everybody is thinking about and watching, and what our corporate masters are showing everyone and teaching them, and just kind of, I don't know. I just have to know. Yeah, spoilers. I already said it was spoilers. Fuck, dude. That's the fake Judge Dredd. Yeah, he's good in the show, though. I liked him. Carl Urban. You already said that. I already know. Carl Urban, goddammit. Wasn't he in Doom? That tall, handsome motherfucker. Hate guys like that. How am I going to compete with that motherfucker? Shit, I can't do it. Can't compete. No spoilers. I'm going to watch it. All right, well, just click off for just a second. Sorry. Just wanted to give a shout out to that show. Because God was bored and wanted to torture the creatures he created. Yeah, I know. God's a psychopath. Everybody's like, what if you're wrong? Well, it would be terrible. It would be terrible for me and for everybody if the Bible God is real, wouldn't it? I'm glad he's not. All right, let's do the Super Chats. Super Chats, lifeblood of the show. I'm looking forward to the show, as always. Hey, thanks, Ann. Ann's a big supporter. She's always like the first one to Super Chat me before the show begins, so I really appreciate that. Rich Latta, who's... Oh, shit. It's thunderstorming here real loud. You guys hear that? I just got caught out in the rain because I drive this 20-year-old car. That's a convertible. And the back window is missing now because, like, it was like soft top and taking it up and down. Like, basically that back window ripped out of it, so there's no back window anymore in my car because, like, I'm poor and horrible. And so then when it rains, I have to go out and I have to, like, put a tarp over my car. So it was just like pouring fucking rain here, just like a goddamn biblical flood all of a sudden. So I had to run out and put the tarp on my car, so I'm all fucking soaking wet right now. But it's cool. It's all good. At least I have a fucking car that takes me around, so I ain't gonna complain. All right, Rich Latta says, can someone support the trans community in nearly every way, yet still believe trans women should not compete with cis women in official sports? Or is that person automatically a transphobe? Well, when I'm answering questions like this, I like to replace the word trans with black and see how that sounds. Can someone support the black community in nearly every way, yet still believe black women should not compete with white women in official sports? Or is that a person automatically a transphobe? See, like, black people dominate sports way more than trans women dominate women's sports. I mean, trans women don't dominate women's sports in any way. They are dominated by every measure whatsoever. There's not a single trans woman who has an overall world record in any sport. There's not a single trans woman who has a single Olympic medal. I don't think a trans woman has ever even competed in the Olympics. They are destroyed by cis women by every metric. So if you're spreading the fear that somehow trans women need to be banned from female sports because they're going to cause harm to those sports, then you're spreading unreasonable, irrational fear, because that's not true. By every metric, that's not true. There is no evidence of that whatsoever. So yes, that would be transphobic by definition, in my opinion. But I guess if you fucking kept it to yourself and didn't spread it, I guess possibly you could just be ignorant and not transphobic. But, you know, we're going to talk about a little bit more about this later, but what people don't understand is sports is not just about a physical competition between two people. You know, sports was set up for much more than that. Sports were set up for camaraderie, you know. I don't like sports, but I understand why the Olympics is so important. The Olympics has done more for peace in our world than probably anything else has, because it brought the world together to compete and gave us camaraderie and shit. That's like the whole point of it. It's not just a cold, hard competition between two people based strictly on their physical prowess. It's not what it's about. In fact, physicality is only a small part of what makes people champions, right? Being a champion, it is a lot about your physical prowess, but also about your home life and the opportunities you have that led up to the moment of you competing. And there's lots of other things that give people an advantage that's nothing to do with simple physical prowess. So competition, like I said, it's about belonging and teamwork and camaraderie and being part of, you know, other people and what they're doing, and, you know, making friends, and all of that goes into it. So to try to eliminate trans women from that eliminates them from such an important part of our social interactions with each other. And it's cruel. They're like the people that need it the most, right? They need that social interaction. They need that normalization. You know, they need that friendship, and just to, they have some kind of advantage, so just gotta fucking eliminate them from all that good stuff that could help their lives more than probably anything else. No, like, that's like, fuck you, dude. These are the people we need to be wrapping our arms around. And, you know, they're the most vulnerable of our society. Heroes stand up and they protect the most vulnerable, you know? That's what makes you heroic, and in my opinion, manly. That's always what I thought about, like, heroic manliness, was the ones that want to stand up for, you know, the people that need it the most. And I just don't get these people that are just evil, that want to do the opposite of that. They want to shit on the people that we should be taking care of the most. It's like kicking kittens, man. It just makes me mad anyway. I understand where you're coming from, Rich. I just disagree with you on that. So, Free Thinking Secularist, $1. Free Thinking Secularist, another $1. Thank you for that. I appreciate that. The Supreme King, $4.99. Do you think conservatives would ever stand a chance is religion was to disappear, oh no. I think conservatism, well, I say that, but maybe. A lot of conservatism is simply about the super rich keeping their money, and the rich have always been really good about using their money to keep their money, using their money to brainwash the wider populace into voting against their own best interests. And probably if they didn't have religion, they'd find some other reason to scare people with. They'd scare them with gays or trans people, or they would scare them with immigrants, or they'd find something to scare you with. So probably they would still survive without religion. Good question. D. Blanche, $1.09. People that left ACA need to start a new organization. I think a lot of them went to the Secular Alliance or whatever it's called. I think they messaged me. I may show that in a minute, but I think a lot of them did switch over to some kind of other secular alliance. So hopefully we can help that to spread. Damning evidence. Kevin's show, Dillahunty, fucked up. Yeah. I mean, if you've watched any of Kevin Logan's live streams, or he talked to the three iconic women who basically were the lifeblood, I like that word, of the atheist experience, and they gave their stories about how they were bullied and they felt like they had to resign because the ACA no longer matched their morals. And now these two new people that Kevin Logan interviewed, and it's just like it's like a mafia organization going in and intimidating everybody, and Matt basically just illegally, I say illegally, I don't mean like he broke the laws of the United States, I'm saying he broke the rules of the ACA that the ACA set up, and they elected him president like a god, basically, without being voted in. Anyway, we're going to go over that too a little bit later. We're going to slow pay it. We got a long show to do still. Oh, damn, we're already like 30 minutes into the show already. How the fuck is that even possible? Riff Dude 123 gave me $20. You rock, Dusty. Hey, thanks, Riff Dude. I appreciate that. Just thought you should know. Keep up the good work. Finally able to catch a live stream. Do you think religion needs to be eradicated in order for humans to move forward and progress? I do. Yeah. And when I say it needs to be eradicated, I don't think it should be banned legally or anything. I just think it needs to be mocked into extinction, just like we've done with homophobia, which it hasn't been mocked in extinction yet, but it has been mocked, where far, far fewer people are willing to publicly be homophobic. And racism, which obviously has not been wiped out either, but far, far, far fewer people are willing to be publicly racist these days because it's been mocked into, at least they have to go into hiding. So I think, religion is the same way. Eventually it will be mocked into extinction, and, the sooner the better. Blanco, 420, gave me $1. Thank you, Blanco. D-Dog 2015 gave me $20. Thanks, D-Dog. Appreciate that. Really kind, man. Something that religion succeeds in, that atheism fails, as far as I see, is a sense of community and security. I know we have our online circles, but it's not the same level as religious. Yeah, that's a big part of it. I was reading an article earlier about how a lot of these secular churches that were popular very briefly, they're all starting to suffer and shut down. A lot of people left the religious church, and they wanted somewhere else to have camaraderie and community, and so they started flooding to these secular churches, and then they basically just gave it up because it's boring, to be honest with you. I've been to these secular meetings too, and it's too much like church. They have to find a different formula about it to keep people's interest, and they're just not doing it. So but I think maybe one of the things that replace it in the future will be shows like this, maybe podcasts, where instead of people going to buildings and stuff for camaraderie, they can come here and get in the live chat and chat with each other and find people with similar interests and have good conversations and meet friends and stuff. And you never have to leave, the privacy of your own home. So it's even better. And that's kind of like why people say, why don't you go out and do stand-up comedy, Dusty? Because that's like an outdated thing, in my opinion. I'm basically doing that from the privacy of my home, from my bed, which is way better, in my opinion, right? Anyway, thank you for that. I appreciate that, D-Dog. What you guys got to say in the regular chat? Never underestimate the power of delusion. True that. Religion won't try. Stop. Dusty's voice is soft-spoken tonight. Yeah, we're doing the casual show. If you guys have never experienced a casual show before, this is what the casual show is like. I do my NPR voice, and I sit in my bed. I'm not, usually, when I'm doing a regular show, I sit in my bed chair. Yes, I have a chair for my bed. It doesn't have any legs on it, but it supports my back, and it's not very comfortable, but it's way comfortable than not having it when you're trying to sit in your bed. But now during the live show, I just lay back on my little pillow wedge, and I'm comfortable and shit, and I speak in my NPR voice, so it's all good. It's very intimate. Religion is just the easiest way. Yeah, it explains everything to people in the simplest manner possible, and it explains it brilliantly, where you can understand the entire universe very simply. But the problem is, it explains it wrong, because life is, much more nuanced than simple answers. And so understand why people are attracted to it, because they're dumb. Does Dusty have a Discord? Yes, I have a Discord. Actually, I might be taking calls on Discord tonight. We'll see how this goes. We're at like 30 minutes into the show, and I've only covered one subject so far, so it doesn't look like we're going to get to the Discord chat tonight. But I tried to get somebody that was in the chat earlier who was basically saying that they're a trans man, and they think that trans women should be barred from competing against cis women. And I was trying to get them to come on and live chat with me in Discord, but obviously they were totally cowards because I would fucking destroy them in every way a human being could be destroyed. So I don't blame you. You made the right choice, but yeah, I would fuck you up, dude. Anyway, I guess I'll continue on with the show. More super chats, please. Lifeblood of the show, super chats. Don't make me tell you in a more sexy fucking voice. So anyway, a lot of people over the last couple of days have sent me this clip from H3H3, I guess you pronounce that He. And to be honest with you, I'm not real familiar with He. I know that they're like one of the popular dirtbag left shows. The only real thing I know about them, because I never watched that show, is the video that Three Arrows put out, where he basically featured whatever this guy's name is. Is it Dylan or something? I don't know what the fuck his name is. But anyway, apparently they were on, and they were spreading white supremacist propaganda about the Dresden bombing. And look, I know that these people are Jews, and so you're like, hey, how can Jews spread white supremacist propaganda? Well, the same way that Jesse Lee Peterson is black, but he goes around and tells people that the civil rights movement was bad for black people. You know, you can have certain very rare ignorant people that are racist, that are black, but I don't think this guy was doing it on purpose, to be honest with you. I think he was just dumb, ignorant. He doesn't know what the fuck he's talking about, so he probably saw something about this that was spread by some of his anti-SJW buddies who were spreading white supremacist propaganda. He spread it too without looking into it. That would be my guess. But anyway, if you look into it, basically, this video by Dan Arrows is amazing. Does an amazing job of showing how he's completely full of shit and everything he's saying, and what he's saying here is basically just, right out of the white supremacist playbook, and he should be ashamed. I don't know if he ever apologized for this or anything, but anyway, this was basically my only knowledge of this guy and his show. I found out about this because when PewDiePie unfollowed everybody on Twitter, you might remember that, I did a show on that. We basically shit on PewDiePie because he was following all these right-wing shitheads. And a lot of people were pointing out people he was following, and this guy was one of the people he was following. And everybody was like, well, why do people have a problem with him following this guy? This guy's a lefty. And so people were pointing out, well, the reason was because he spread this Dresden bullshit, and Three Arrows did a great job of just basically, busting him the fuck out for it. So anyway, people sent me this clip of him. I guess he had a show yesterday, and they were saying that what he's saying here is
welcome
transphobic.
Fooper Troopers.
And look, here's the thing. Like, I'm not the arbiter of what is transphobic and what is not transphobic. Like, I know I speak out about it a lot, so people keep sending me videos and stuff, and they want me to keep commenting all the time. And I don't want to be, like, typecast as this guy that talks about trans things. Because I obviously, I support trans rights, and I'm an ally and everything, but I'm a cis white male, dude. It's like, I'm not the best person in the world to be speaking out against trans rights all the time. I'm just not. I don't want people to think I'm speaking for them, right? So here, instead of making a comment about all this bullshit, about what he's saying, about whether I think what he's saying is transphobic or not, I'm just going to play it. And you guys can make your own decision if you want to. I'm sure that lots of trans people watch this and I'll think, what the fuck? That was nothing. He didn't say anything wrong. And I'm sure some people, trans people, watch this and they'll be like, fuck this guy forever. He's obviously a transphobe. And so whatever your opinion, you have the right to have your opinion. I'll just play it and you can make up your own mind. So basically what he's talking about here is he's talking about cis and, non-transgender people playing transgender roles and whatnot. And he used some ableist slurs. And he basically compares cutting his dick off to being trans and stuff. And a lot of people had a problem with it. But let's see what you think.
Their identity, but her face is like transplanted on really badly, and then it looks like they changed her nose.
I don't understand the whole argument of like a non-gay shouldn't play a gay character.
Right.
They're acting.
Well, why don't? Okay.
Isn't that their job?
Yes, Hila. And if you're going to make a movie about cats, why are you going to cast human beings? Why not just have cats play? Why don't you just film a bunch of cats running around a fucking room?
I would watch that.
I would watch the shit out of that.
Dude, epic. And call it Cats. The movie. No, I agree. It's insane. It's like...
it should be about Cats Deli. KATZ.
And a bunch
but
of
it's
fat
all
people
cat.
eating pastrami. I'd star in that.
Here's like just a comment before he really gets into the transphobic stuff. It really wasn't the transphobia that bothered me about this. It was how boring this show is. Like, why is this popular? I don't get it. Like, maybe I know I don't have the experience. I said I don't watch the show, but maybe he's brilliant all the other times. But in the clips I watched of this, he's not very entertaining. He doesn't seem to have that good of a person. None of these people are entertaining to me. I don't really get it, to be honest with you. But I know I'm biased and jealous and all that.
Scarlett Johansson got in a lot of heat. First of all, she was going to play a trans character, and then people are like, "Well, you have to let a trans person play it."
Then it's a documentary, isn't it?
Well, it's not actually about.
I mean, if you really want that level of realism, watch a documentary.
Well,
They're
right.
acting. I don't understand what's the problem.
Also, I think part of
if you're acting a mob or a serial killer, do you have to have experience killing people?
Apparently so. Yeah. You're like, bro, how many people have you actually killed and raped? Because we have to go to prison and get. But I think part of the actor's experience is, that level of empathy of being able to transport their identity into a body that's not their own.
Mm-hmm.
So to say Scarlett Johansson can't play a trans person because she's not trans, or a trans person has to play a trans person, to give them the opportunity. I mean, we want the best person for the job, right?
Are they upset that a trans person couldn't get a job?
Yes.
Yeah, that's the root of it.
Mm-hmm.
They think that, if you're going to cast a trans person, there's already not trans people in movies, so why are you hiring a non-trans person?
Right. They say
When
that
they
there's
need
a
a
lot of
job.
trans actors out there that are hungry for work, and it's like, why not?
You might say
Cast
that they're
one of
looking
them.
for a transaction.
Damn.
People got really mad at
Okay.
Scarlett for it. I don't understand why they're not just mad at like the casting director in the
I
studio.
agree,
You
or
know what I mean?
or
It's
the
not her fault.
writers,
Yeah,
or
giving
the
her shit.
Right.
like be mad at the production, not the actor.
Right.
But
But even still,
She did drop out, by the way.
well, yeah, because everyone,
Because
who
of
wants
the
to deal with that
yeah, you
shit?
probably
But even still, okay. Well, okay, what do you think about this, Hila, as a thought experiment? A white dude is cast, I don't know if this is the same, but you're cast out of your race, and then they make you look like that race.
You mean blackface?
Or the opposite, like a black dude. Yeah, let's say
All right, let me just stop this for a second to apologize for how boring these people are. I'm only playing this because a lot of people sent me this clip. There's about another 2 minutes of this. I'm really sorry. It's not my fault, but these people are way more popular than I am, so there must be something people like about this shit. And everybody in the chat is telling me they're not lefties. They're not dirtbag left, so sorry. Like I said, I don't watch the show. Everybody's saying they're radical centrist, so okay. I believe you guys because you know more about this than I do, so thank you for the information.
okay, is that the same? Go ahead, Hila. Go.
Are you asking if a white person can play a black person?
Yes.
I don't know. I mean, it's a sensitive topic here, so I don't know.
Back in the day,
Right.
they used to do it.
Yeah.
Like Shakespearean times, they used to also play women. So was trans the new thing if you're going to get trans played trans? Did the words that come out of my mouth make sense?
What,
Okay.
yeah. What do you think?
I don't know. It is interesting to think
Okay,
about it in that
okay.
context.
Maybe.
And yeah, the white person playing a black one obviously is a very loaded thing because of the history of blackface and everything. But then,
But maybe it is the same with.
What about men playing women? Because that used to be the norm.
right, yeah, but in
I
those
feel like
days,
that's
women
just
couldn't
silly.
act. That's why they used men. They didn't let women act, right?
But so is trans the same? Because if you change your gender, like, are we saying? So again, this kind of backfires on them in a sense because I think a lot of these people think that gender is something that is fluid and a social construct. So if I look, I'm just going to say this because it's the easy way to describe it. And I think it's funny. Cut off my dick. People get offended when I say that because they say just because you cut off your dick doesn't mean you're not a male anymore.
Right.
Okay, stop. I cut my dick off and I call myself a woman. I cut it off and identify now as a woman.
First of all, let's start by saying this conversation was not planned, so we have no idea what we're talking about. We did not plan to talk about it. So if
I
we
cut
sound
my
stupid,
dick
it's
off.
probably because we are stupid about the
I
subject.
tuck my dick. Okay, here's what I'm going to do.
Okay, now
I'm
let's
going to
continue.
wrap a rubber band around my dick and balls, and I'm going to tuck it behind my ass, and I'm going to keep it on there till it falls off, rots off. Then I'm trans.
Okay, no, but okay.
No.
Yeah.
Then when I'm trans, I'll go and play a trans. Well, okay, so actually I'm not. I'm just me. But the point is that me without a dick still looks like me. And apparently the gender is identity within yourself and has nothing to do with your genitals. So do you see what I'm saying? This is more of a psychological thing than a physical thing.
But I mean, I see what you're saying, but I feel like that's not the best example because people that actually, have a sex change, they do a lot more than just remove their penis.
I'm sorry this is so boring, folks. Like, this is a podcast that's way more popular than mine. It's one of the most popular podcasts in the world. It's not my fault they're so boring. Why is this so fucking popular? I don't know. But he's about to say some ableist slurs, and I'm just trying to let him get into it. I do apologize for how bad this is. It's almost over, I promise.
Take hormones and
I am oversimplifying for the sake of brevity and humor.
And really, yeah, and I think it all just comes down to, equal opportunity more so than it, I think, being inherently wrong for an actor to play something other than themselves. But that gets lost in it.
So where do we draw the line on this?
What do you think, Dan?
I know what Dan thinks.
Well, Scarlett said, essentially what you were saying is that...
Okay, I think someone stop it. I'm sorry. He's about to say the R word, the re word, to make fun of people with Down syndrome, and he's about to make some bad arguments there. But this is so fucking boring, I can't even let him get into that. So this got seen 810,000 times, folks. This podcast you're watching right now will be seeing less than 10,000. So these people are 80 times more popular than I am. How is this fucking possible? How is this boring shit so popular? It's a fucking amazing. I don't know. So what do you guys think? Transphobic or not transphobic? What do we think about this dipshit? This boring fucking dipshit, in my opinion. The girl seems to have a slightly more... She's not more entertaining, but she seems to be more intelligent. So anyway, yeah, it is so boring. It's like, I'm sorry. Yeah, I'm turning it off. I'm sorry. Like, the only reason I shared that boring shit is because so many people sent that to me, and I don't want to, act like I'm avoiding what you guys are sending me and stuff, but holy shit, these people are dull. Anyway, I'm sorry on behalf of their boring ass. So let's talk about something a little bit more exciting. Kevin Logan had 2 more people from the ACA on his show. Kevin Logan, who clearly watches my show. You can definitely tell when you watch his show, but I watch his show too, so I guess turnabout is fair play. So he invited John Icoletti. I don't know how you pronounce this guy's name, even though they say it repeatedly. I'm really bad at pronouncing. I was going to say an ableist slur. That's terrible. Stupid, Dusty. Saying stupid is not ableist, is it? Is it okay to say you're stupid? Or is that also ableist? I'm learning. Anyway, and Chelsea Rodriguez, who was on the board and was one of the board members who... she wasn't actually running again. She was a board member when all this happened, and she was basically resigning anyway for other reasons. But she basically told her experience about what happened. And, man, you guys thought you were pissed about this fucking situation before. So... you guys need to go watch this for yourself. Obviously, the whole thing is an hour and 35 minutes long, and I can't tell you everything that they were saying, but I'm going to break it down for you. So basically, they go into the whole rationality rules things, and this Chelsea girl, is the one that wrote the original press release, or whatever you want to call it, where they basically, it was the very, very mild release where they said that they distanced themselves from rationality rules, transphobic videos, and are sorry that they didn't do a better job before they had him on. It's so fucking reasonable. Anyway, she's the one that wrote this, and she basically talked about how she did her research. She knew that it was multiple videos that he made. That's why she wrote, on purpose, multiple videos. And even though Matt Dillahunty lied repeatedly and bullied people by saying it wasn't multiple videos, unlike him, she actually did the research and knew what she was talking about. But she went into so many harrowing things throughout this whole video, but the one that really got to me was when they were talking about how after the whole first press release blew up, and Matt Dillahunty and and so many people that were in the ACA were so pissed off that they dare question or even mildly rebuke rational rules at all. So they basically wanted to force the board into making a retraction and apologizing to Stephen Woodford. So what they're supposed to do is before they have any new topics for debate on the board, they're supposed to give them notice. I think it's like 15 days notice or something, but they didn't do that. Basically what happened was they showed up to this meeting, the board members, and they said that it's very, very rare that anybody is there except for board members, because nobody gives a shit about that stuff. Occasionally, maybe one or two other people show up, but for the most part, it's just board members only. But they showed up to this board meeting, and apparently tons of people fucking showed up to this, and they were very, very angry at them for putting out this release that mildly criticized Stephen Woodford. And so she describes where she sat down and they put in front of them this resolution where they were going to rescind the press release that she wrote and instead issue an apology to fucking Stephen Woodford for being a transphobic dickhead, of course. And she was like just basically shocked. She was put on the spot, and she said that the room was kind of smallish and she wasn't used to having people around, and she said that there was these two large white men who were basically sitting so close to her that she could feel them breathing on her neck and whispering behind her. And she said she felt so fucking intimidated. And she said she's a meek person, and she's shy, and like she wished that she could have spoke up because she did not want to vote to rescind the thing that she wrote. She did not want to vote that way, but she felt like she was pressured and she was frightened. She was literally frightened by the situation, and so she had to vote against her morals. And she said on the way home she had to drive 2 hours back to her house, and she said she cried the whole way because she felt so ashamed that she was too afraid to vote the way she wanted to vote. And of course, who also showed up at that meeting to make that all happen? Matt Dillahunty. And Matt Dillahunty wasn't on the board at this time. Matt Dillahunty wasn't even a fucking board member, but he showed up to make sure that he took over the fucking board. Basically what happened is the president of the board resigned, and then the board members who were left, the ones that hadn't resigned yet, they elected Matt Dillahunty president of the ACA. And so basically, during the next board meeting when they were doing the board elections, they basically just told everybody that Matt Dillahunty was the president, and he was never voted in by the people of the ACA. Now, maybe eventually they'll vote him in the correct way. But they haven't done that yet, apparently. They just basically, they declared Matt Dillahunty the king of the ACA. And so they also talked about how they're both banned from the ACA forums, and how the ACA forums are basically going through and they're literally banning the former administrators who resigned. They're like proactively banning them, even though they didn't say anything wrong or they didn't do anything wrong. They're banning them just in case they come back and try to tell their experiences on the ACA forum. So that's exactly what the fuck's happening here. Matt Dillahunty is just like, folks, dude. Like some kind of weird mafia leader just taking over and getting rid of all of the old people, all of his old friends who dare call out his buddy Stephen Woodford, banning them from the forums to make sure they can't tell their stories, just acting like the biggest dickheads in the world. And these people are saying, yeah, they're trying to silence us. You know, both these people also said that Matt Dillahunty went public and was basically trying to act like all these people left because it was just like normal attrition. It had really nothing to do with the rationality rules situation, but everybody's gone public, and these two they specifically said the reason we're going public is because we want everybody to know that Matt Dillahunty is lying. The reason we resigned was specifically because of what they're doing here, was because transphobes have taken over, and Matt Dillahunty has bullied and lied and allowed this to happen as he became King Matt of the ACA. And that's, go watch for yourself, folks. You don't have to believe me. So, like, it's saddening that more people are not talking about this situation. More people need to be calling this situation out. This is a huge, huge thing, but I don't know. For some reason, Christianity and atheism are not the cool subjects anymore, so nobody's talking about it. It's really weird and sad. But I'm talking about it. I'll keep calling it out, and hopefully other people will eventually wake up and recognize what the fuck's going on. What you guys have to say? Ramsey the Great. Dusty is literally taking this take from Kevin Logan's stream. Yep, I'm just telling you exactly what they said. These are people that were actually there. Like the one guy, Ike Oletti, had been in the ACA for 20 years. So he'd been there way longer than Matt, right? And the other one had been there for a long time too. So these are people that literally built the ACA, and they're talking about how heartbroken they are because the thing that they built was destroyed by Matt Dillahunty and Rationality Rules and the transphobes that took over. So, yeah, I don't know if Matt hasn't been canceled. No, Matt's being rewarded. Matt's more popular than ever. Matt's going to make more money than he's ever made. Matt has his cool, new, real popular buddies. And, you think he's hating on it? Nah, he likes where he's at. All right. Is there any documentation about what Matt has said or written about trans people? I mean, if you cared about this enough, you would already know the answer to this question. You would have already watched my videos, and you would have already watched Kevin Logan stuff. There's plenty of information about what Matt did to back up the transphobes that took over the ACA, yes. And Matt absolutely lied about Rationality Rules in his video, and which was incredibly transphobic, and even his apology video is incredibly transphobic, and Matt is nothing but take up for his buddies and shit. So yes, Matt pays lip service to being a trans ally while backing up and having his transphobic buddies back and allowing transphobes to take over the ACA. So that's what's happening. I mean, I did cite my source. You got the people who were specifically there for 20 years, went on Kevin Logan's show and told you what exactly was going on, on 2 different shows. And also, like, I've done videos where I showed Matt's videos before. I played exactly what Matt said, and I've showed you how Matt was lying. So, like, if you want to go watch it, you can. And if you're too lazy and intellectually lazy to educate yourself, which you probably are, then there's nothing I can do about that, right? I can't help it if you guys won't educate yourself on this stuff. That's not my fault. I've definitely done incredibly in-depth videos where I've shown not just my sources, but the video themselves of what these people are saying. And you guys are just dumbasses. What can you say? You don't watch. You don't care because it's 3 hours long. I can't do that, Dusty. Explain it to me in 5 seconds. Explain this incredibly fucking intricate, nuanced shit that happened over years in 5 seconds to me. And if you don't do that, then I can't learn. Okay. Well, that's the reason you're chuds, Let's see what else we have on here. All right. Let me go ahead and read the super chats, I guess. Super chats, lifeblood of the show, super chats. Don't you want to hear me read your message in my nice ASMR voice? You rock, Dusty. Did I already read that one? Yeah, I already read that one. Thank you, Riff Dude 123. Appreciate that. Blanco 420 $1. Thank you, D-Dog. I think I read that one too. Gilful $5. Thanks, Dusty, for the hours of entertainment. What is your favorite of all time movie, game, book, album? Oh my. Movie, Pulp Fiction. I guess that's the safe answer. Game, Borderlands, the Borderlands series. Book, probably The Selfish Dream by Richard Dawkins. Album, oh, that's a tough one. Nirvana, Nevermind, maybe? Probably Nirvana, Nevermind. Although I think the greatest rock album of all time is still Guns N' Roses' Appetite for Destruction. So, HS Ross, $10. Online community is great, but for in-person community, progressive activism is awesome. So many great causes: climate justice, veganism, left electoral politics, criminal justice reform, and many others. I agree. There's lots of great meetup groups where you can go meet people in real life, and like meetup.com is one of those places. When I was newly single in Denver and didn't know anybody, moved there, I used those meetup places to go meet people. So yeah, if you want in-person community, there's lots of options for that. I highly recommend it. Decoy Sheep, $5. You stopped that travesty. Thank you. Oh yeah, you're talking about the hee video. Yeah, man, why are they so popular? I don't get it. Literally, that one video I just showed you, they'll make more money on that one video than I'll make in years of doing this show. And it's kind of heartbreaking to me. I know that's just jealousy on my part. And the worst thing you can do if you want to be happy is compare yourself to other people. And I know that. But I can't help but to watch these shows and to see how boring they are, and to know that, I watched my show back, and say what you want to about me, but when I do a show, I do it pretty good. It's not usually boring. It moves pretty fucking fast, and I have lots of different topics, and I don't get it, but that I'm biased and jealous, and so what can you do? D-Dog 2015. Pulp Fiction is a Disney movie. Did they buy Pulp Fiction? I'm not surprised. They'll have it with the Gimp being a Disney princess someday, and I will watch it because that will be awesome. What you guys got to say in here? Why do all the little kids hate on Nirvana? I don't know. Nirvana was great, man, back in the fucking day. They were the kings of grunge. I wore that CD out. Without TJ and Paul, I don't watch The Peasants. Nope. I don't really watch The Peasants either. I know that apparently Ben put out some kind of release when I put up that video where I was making fun of them for debating me 3-on-1 about Trump, where I just destroyed them. It was funny. And then Ben put out some kind of release that said, Dusty's just trying to get attention and doing this for money. The same thing they always say. It's just ridiculous. Like, how much money have I lost? Like, the funny thing is Ben is literally the one who told me that they were making $5,000 each a week and that I should go on tour with them and make all the money. And Ben was actually discussing with me, like, out loud, thinking about what they were going to talk about once the anti-SJW trend wore off. Like, they were literally talking about it as though it was just something they were talking about because they were making tons of money. So, like, if I was doing this for the money, wouldn't I have just joined you guys and went on tour and jumped on the anti-SJW bandwagon and made thousands of dollars a week instead of, making nothing now? I don't know. It doesn't seem like a very good excuse to me. It seems like your guys' narrative is sort of broken, but I understand that's what you have to say. I mean, what else you gonna say, right? That's all you got. I destroyed you guys, and you can't admit you're wrong because your ego won't let you do that, so you gotta say some other stupid shit. Cool, I guess. I'm listening to Jane's Addiction. Cool. The Prodigy. Didn't that guy die recently? I'm a fire starter. Twisted fire starter. Yeah. Thoughts on the questions for SJWs from White Men Vid. Obviously, I wish I would not have been a part of it. I'm embarrassed to be in the same video with all those people. I did not understand what that video was going to be when I was asked to be a part of it. And I definitely, of course now, would have answered completely differently than I did back then. I was just being dumb and stupid and edgy. Cringe, suboptimal, but, it's all good. You live and learn. All you can do is try to own up to your fuck-ups and then use them to make yourself better. And I try to do that, so it's cool. No, my favorite band is Rush. I know a little bit about Rush. I know some Tom Sawyer. Tool's not bad. I am just a worthless liar. I am just an imbecile. I will only complicate you. Trust in me and fall as well. I will find a center in you. I will chew it up then leave. Let's see. I like Chapo Trap House too. Never seen Chapo Trap House. I know kind of what it's about a little bit, but never done anything that interests me, so I didn't really pay attention to it. Anyway. Damn, we're already like an hour into this show. Let's continue. More super chats, please. I need more super chats because losing money and everything. And please support the show and all that. So anyway, next up we're going to talk about Boogie. You guys know who Boogie is? Boogie is, I guess he is a popular gaming streamer for some reason. And he's like a radical centrist who's kind of pathetic. I hate to say that because we're about to talk about how he's threatening to commit suicide, but damn, this dude has no spine in his body, and he's so afraid of saying anything that anybody will hate him for that it makes everybody hate him, so it's counterproductive. So instead of just taking a strong position about anything where at least some people would agree with him, everybody, hates on him all the time because he's such a weakling. And anyway, the mask slipped a little bit in a stream he did not long ago, and he said something racist. Then you can almost see on his face that he knows what he's saying is racist, so he basically tries to just play it off and keep going. But, cringe as fuck. Let's have a look.
Yo, for you
I'm
too.
a black person.
Sparkle, I'm glad to hear you're still black. And thanks for 2 months of support, man. That's a lot of money, I guess, for a person of color, or is it not? I don't know. But I have a gun that's also a USB drive. So
let's watch that again. The guy gave him $3. This black guy gave him $3.
Yo, for you
I'm a
too.
black person.
Sparkle, I'm glad to hear you're still black. And thanks for 2 months of support, man. That's a lot of money, I guess, for a person of color, or is it not? I don't know. But I have a gun that's also a USB drive. So,
black people be poor, yo. Now, I know he's joking, but, oh, God, Boogie cringe. Anyway, so apparently, he is real insecure about being Boogie. It ain't going fucking well for Boogie. Even though he's rich and he's famous and he's making a lot of fucking money just for sitting on his computer talking, he's still a fucking sad sack who ain't happy. So apparently he found some girl on Reddit or something who didn't like him, and he started sending her a bunch of private messages where he threatened to commit suicide because she didn't like him. And so he claims that on his birthday he's going to give his fortune away to several charities and then disappear for a couple years and then swallow a bullet and kill himself. On my birthday, I'm dedicating my fortune to several charities. What's left of it anyway? I'm going to do a huge charity event and match it dollar for dollar till I'm broke. Then, when I am broke, I'm going to wait a couple years till everyone forgets about me, and then, I can't do it when it will still hurt my fans. That's why I'm still here. But once Reddit has fully convinced everyone I want to hurt kids or whatever, then I can go. Because once I'm broke, I won't be able to support myself. So he's going on about he's going to kill himself. And anyway, like, Boogie, dude. Like, I know, and apparently several people have said that this is the way he behaves. He tries to manipulate people by threatening suicide because they criticize him, and he's been doing this for a long time. And dude, like, seriously, what the fuck? I mean, it's just the internet. Like, for one, why are you seeking out people that are shitting on you? I never fucking Google myself, dude. You know how many people have shit on me? I get shit on constantly everywhere across the internet all day long. I don't seek that shit out. Why would I do that to myself, dude? Just relax. Just relax. It's fine. It's just strangers on the internet. Okay? You're cool, man. Don't worry about it. And, like, if you're so worried about everybody hating on you, maybe just, like, grow a spine or something. That's what I think. But anyway, don't kill yourself, Boogie. But at the same time, quit threatening to kill yourself, Boogie. That's a bad look, in my opinion. And also, don't, like, say any more racist stuff, please. That's suboptimal, in my opinion. So anyway, what do you guys have to think about Boogie? Do we like Boogie, or is he worthless? And what do you guys think about the ASMR NPR voice that I use for this programming? Are you guys enjoying this? I hope so. He's a big lump of lard. I don't want to make fun of his weight, because, you know, there's plenty of bad things about Boogie that are not physical. So, I just assume Dusty listened to the CTH with how much he says chud. No. No, I don't. Oh my goodness. Oof. LOL, so awkward. Yes, that was very, very awkward. Or not. I don't know. Yeah, ha ha ha. I know. Terrible, right? Cringe. Absolutely. Suboptimal. I need to get my suboptimal shirts out for too long. Who's going to buy a suboptimal shirt from me? Between Ethan, Boogie, and PewDiePie, these centrists just don't know anything about politics. If they learned anything about economics or politics, I'd be interested to see what happens. I mean, is that why they're so popular? Is it because they're centrist and, like, they can, like, feed off both sides or whatever? Like, I don't know. Like, it gets frustrating all the while to see all these people that I don't really consider talented to be so popular. And I watch, and I'm trying to get it, and I'm trying to be like, okay, well, obviously you're just jealous, Dusty. Obviously that you're just biased, but I don't think I am. I just think that's bad. Anyway, Boogie's wife left it for another guy. Well, I'm sorry to hear that. That's bad. I guess he chose poorly. Like, I used to be real superficial, and, like, looks was the primary thing I picked women on, and then I realized, oh God, you're setting yourself up for future heartbreak when you do that. For one thing, like, when you have a girl that's like a 10, like a fucking outright 10, every time she leaves the house, there's nothing but other guys continuously fucking hitting on her all the goddamn time. And so, like, even if you have the most loyal girl in the world, it's hard. It's hard. You have hot guys hitting on you every fucking time you leave the house. And also, loyalty, you learn, is, like, the most important thing. You know, you want to find somebody that's incredibly fucking loyal, way more important than superficiality, because then you don't have to really worry about it that much. You know, because, you know, your girl's going to be down for you no matter what. And if somebody does take your girl from you, then they've done you a favor, because they, you know, proved to you that they weren't worthy of you. So that's the kind of way I look at it. You guys, body shaming are actually disgusting. Yeah, I'm not into the body shaming at all. Like, I'm definitely not in the best shape of my life anymore. I've gotten kind of chubby over the last couple of weeks. Really kind of let myself go because I've been really enjoying my life and stuff. So who knows, I could get really fat again. So I'm not really into the body shaming. No need to shame Boogie for his weight. Just stick to his boringness. Yep. Totally agree on all of that. Dusty, your voice is so smooth. I love it. I love you, Emred. Me and my smooth voice. I like an above optimal shirt. Yeah, me too, right? Time to roll a doober. Oh, yeah. Smoke 'em if you got 'em. I'm going to smoke my glass stick a little bit. Yummy. Delicious. Boogie is messed on the inside. Oh, yeah. I think Boogie just has low self-esteem and he just wants everybody to really fucking love him. But it's like, excuse me. A lot of times, that's like kind of getting women. It's like the more you want to get women, the less you can get women. It's like the thirstier you are, the harder it is to get a drink. And I think it's kind of that same way with Boogie. It's like he wants to be loved so bad, it just pushes people away. You just kind of have to worry about that so much sometimes. I love you, Kelly Miller. Dusty, you're sexy. You're sexy, I'm red. Alright, let's see what else we got going on the super chats. I'm a new viewer and I really like the content. However, here comes the but. It is difficult to hear the feminine gendered insults. I know you're open to feedback, so I hope it doesn't infringe too much. Which feminine gender insults do I give often? I try to be pretty good about that. I did say the word cunt on the last show, and then I apologized to it, but I said it about somebody who was kind of being one a little bit. So, and I use a lot of like male gendered insults too. But I understand what you're saying, and you're right, I am definitely open to be better about all that. And so if you guys have criticism, or if I do some stuff that you think is like I should be better about, absolutely, point it out to me, and I'll take it into consideration, and I will try to be better. You know what I need to do? Is I need to like read a bunch of you guys' criticism, and then I need to do some acid, and I just need to like contemplate it on it real bad, because, that's a good way to change yourself. Anyway, I love Green Day. I got one shirt for every day. My sister loved fucking Green Day. That was her favorite fucking band for a long time. And then it was the Smashing Pumpkins. I took her to 2 Smashing Pumpkins concerts. Love your show. Great to put on in the background plus draw. Hells yeah. Thank you, Annalise. A lot of people like play my show in the background when they play video games. Because I kind of try to like to do my show. If you ever play Fallout and you ever like watch some of the radio programs, there's one in particular. It's the kind of nerdy, young sounding guy who does his show, and he kind of sounds insecure and unsure of himself. Anyway, I kind of try to put on a show sometimes that's similar to that, so it's good to play on the background. I'm playing video games and stuff, so my podcasts are available on SoundCloud and on Spotify and on iTunes, so if you just want to listen to the background, you have plenty of options to do that. And I think I'm a couple episodes behind on those platforms, so I'm going to work on getting that updated, but there's still plenty of content to watch for those of you who haven't caught up already, so be sure to do that. More super chats, please. I need more super chats. I walk alone, I walk alone. Drug-assisted wokeness. Hells yeah. Fucking psychedelics are awesome, in my opinion. Thank you, sir. Thank you. Religion is a Ponzi scheme. Absolutely it is. Only 58 viewers should be way more. What, there's only 58 viewers on the show right now? Really? Are you serious? No, maybe there is. Peak concur at 203. Holy shit. There's nobody watching this show right now. Wow, that's sad, isn't it? Well, fuck me. Okay, well, what you gonna do, folks? No one tuned into the show tonight. That's pretty fucking depressing, isn't it? Makes me not even want to do the show anymore because nobody's watching. Oh, well, I guess I'll just keep going anyway. That's depressing. Oh well. Anyway, what else? I have a lot of stuff I want to talk about, but I'm kind of bummed now that no one's watching the show, so maybe we'll just cut it short tonight, and I'll try again next time. Maybe some more people will show up to the fucking show next time. I don't know, folks. Like 60 people watching the show, that's like nothing. That's silly. That's like, I don't get it. So, oh, it's 367 for youth. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe it's more people than I think. Maybe I'm getting depressed for nothing. I'm trying to stay positive about it all, but when I see like stuff like Hee get like 800,000 views on that boring shit, I'm just like, what's the point in all this, dude? Anyway. Oh, Dusty's so sad right now. All right, snap out of it, Dusty. Quit being weak. I was going to say quit being a pussy, but that's a gendered slur, and I can't say that. And I can't say quit being a little bitch, because that's also a gendered slur that I shouldn't say. So, okay. Snap out of it, Dusty. Smoke weed. Whew. All right. Why are you feeling so sorry for yourself, Dusty? That's so stupid, too. Like, who gives a shit if people's watching the show? Like, if I'm having fun and doing the show, is it about the numbers, Dusty? Is that what it's about? Or is it about putting out a positive message? What is this about to you? Like, fuck, I'm so disappointed in Dusty right now. Dusty sucks. So anyway, I'm sorry, folks. That was bad. You got to watch me be depressed right there live on fucking stream for a second. You got to watch me feel sorry for myself. And that's not who I am. I'm not somebody that sits around and fucking so sorry for myself. So fuck that shit. We're going to soldier forth on. And I would say man up, Dusty. But once again, holy shit. It's like I suddenly realize how much of a male-dominated society I was raised in, and all my fucking insults are gendered and shit because the patriarchy has put forth this idea that manliness is about bravery and strength, and femininity is about the opposite of that. And woke. I'm getting more and more woke each day. People say that like it's a bad thing. They make fun of woke people, but I don't even consider it a bad thing. I'm like trying to better myself by understanding what's really going on in society, and then use that information to make myself better. You know, that's how could that be bad, in my opinion? So anyway, okay. Next up, a man at a Trump rally yells to African Americans to go back to Africa because, you know, they're not racist.
Yourself an African American, go back to Africa. If you're an African first, go back to Africa. If you're an African first, go back to Africa.
Go back to Europe. Nigga, go back to
Black lives
Europe.
don't matter to other inner city blacks.
Go back to Europe. That's a very good response, motherfucker. You don't look like you're Native American to me. But, you know, that's just Trump has been spreading racism, and they can say all you want to do, it's not racist what he said, but it is racist. And all these people going out to all these conservatives who are spreading this, claiming it's a hoax, that conservatives are telling people to go back to where they came from. Nope, it's not. Like I showed on the last show, I'm not even looking for this stuff, but you can find tons of examples of this being caught on video recently because they're following Trump's lead. This racist bullshit to tell other Americans to go back to fucking where they came from. They came from America, motherfuckers, just like you did. They were born here just like you were. They have just as much right, maybe more, to be here than you do. So, they're just racist pieces of shit. And it's really depressing, but here's kind of a cool video. I don't have a very big video segment for you guys because I hadn't seen too much that was cool, but these motherfuckers are mugging this guy. They're got him on the ground, they're choking him, they're kicking him, they're beating him the fuck up. And then, out of fucking nowhere, like a house of pain, this fucking runaway freight train, I guess a friend of his, comes in to stop this shit like a goddamn superhero. So watch this shit. Wait for it. Beating up his friend, robbing him. These two goons are sitting around just watching while this happens while I try to take his shit from him. And then boom! Yeah, you motherfuckers fucked up, didn't you? Oh shit, I don't know if that's his brother or what, but he ain't goddamn having it. I will kill all you motherfuckers. Oh, come on. You want some? Get your ass up. You better fucking run. You better if at least cowards run away, of course. They're real fucking tough, 3-on-1. They're fucking with this guy. But anybody, like this one guy comes and they all just, this guy not even big or anything. But that's fucking chicken shit cowards and bullies for you. As soon as you stand up to them, they don't fucking want none of it. You go, dude. Love to see that shit. And, I think I'm going to skip over to the Reddit stuff. Because there's some more, since I was kind of depressed a little bit just now. There's some wholesome stuff on the Reddit that I will show you. But before, well, this is actually kind of a good story. A former pastor that wrote a best-selling book. He sold over 1 million copies of this book about purity and virginity. He was like one of the big pastors that was leading the purity movement. And he's come out and said he's no longer a Christian now. He's apologizing for being anti-LGBTQ, and he's basically resigned from the church, and he's pulling his book about purity and abstinence from the shelves, and he's like doing a mea culpa. He's like, I fucked up, and I no longer believe that, and I'm sorry. And so, like, you don't see that very much anymore these days, or you don't see that period these days where preachers who are con men and made lots of money off their cons and grifts are owning up to it and admitting it and trying to do the right thing. So, you know, kudos to you, Joshua Harris. Even though, who knows, he may be a giant piece of shit in real life. I have no idea. But this seemed to be a good story, so I thought I would share that with you. And here's some good wholesomeness for you guys. The look on this dog's face who just got adopted. Look at this shit, man. That shit make you want to cry. He's instantly in love. You know, they just want to find a forever home. Somebody love them. All right, can't watch that too much. All right, what you guys got to see in the chat right quick? I need a break for a second. Super chat, HS Ross, 350, 360. The viewers seem up from many past shows. Usually it's about 500 average, I think, but it's fine. It's fine. I gotta get over that, dude. It's not a numbers. I almost never look at the numbers. It's just sometimes I think about it and it gets to me, and I just gotta get over that shit. The point is, Dusty One, is that we love you. Okay, I appreciate it. I'm sorry. Like, I'm really sorry. I apologize. Thank you, Jen. But there are 365 people watching the show. Okay, I appreciate the info. It's not telling me the truth here clearly. I guess it will update later. It's telling me that the most I've had through this whole thing is 203, which is not very good. But anyway, not that it matters. That's stupid. Love your show. Great to put on the back. I already read that one. Here's my money. Don't be depressed. Okay, thank you, Asher Scott. I will try not to be depressed. It's a bad look for me. I hate that though, because I'm not a depressed person. Like, I'm always happy, except when I like watch dog videos and shit. But more dogs, please. All right, I gotta try not to cry though, because it makes me want to cry. So I gotta fucking. I want to say all the fucking gendered words. I want to say I want to butch up. I want to man up. I want to not be a pussy. I want to say all that. But that's, I understand. It's not cool to say that. So I need to be less emotional. But even that, maybe it's not a big deal that I'm emotional. Maybe I just got to get over like thinking it's a bad thing. I don't know. So anyway, they had this new virtual reality water slide that's pretty cool. I don't know if you guys have seen this, but definitely want to go check this shit out. They put this headset on you and they like slide you down the virtual reality water slide. And so while you're actually going down the water slide, you're like in this tube and hell and have all this shit flying around you and stuff. So that's pretty cool. I guess they've waterproofed these things, hopefully, because if they haven't, they're going to go through a lot of product really fast. But here's the thing about virtual reality. I'm just going to be honest with you guys. Like, unless you're really into virtual reality porn, I wouldn't worry about virtual reality yet. Now, virtual reality is going to be the future. There's no fucking doubt about it. It's going to change the world forever. It's just that there's not enough content out. There's not enough porn, non-porn related content out right now. There's plenty of porn related content, and I dig it. I'm there for it all fucking week. You know me. I love my porn. So if that's what you're into, definitely. But other than that, I would hold off until there's more content released for VR. But it's pretty amazing. And I say this looks cool. I probably wouldn't even go to this thing because like you can already like get VR experiences that are like roller coasters and shit, and they're close enough to what you go through with this where I wouldn't have to go anywhere to get that experience. I think the experience at home is close enough. So just my opinion. And this bishop would like all you to know that the reason gay babies exist is because your mama had anal sex while you were a baby. True story, folks. First, we had the woman who claimed that gayness was caused by butt worms that eat semen. And now we got this dude who swears up and down that yo mama got butt sex and that's why you're gay. Not sure that's how it works, dude, but I don't know. Keep spreading shit like this because you guys destroy religion a lot better than I could ever do, that's for sure. He added that it occurs when the couple has sex while the woman is pregnant, and the sex is unnatural as he characterizes anal sex. True story. God, these guys are such fucking dorks, aren't they? How do these guys have so many supporters? It's a sigh. It just makes me sigh. And this is me at every fucking club I've ever gone into. This is exactly how I behave, man. Gotta fucking strut it out. Why is it not playing this? Play it. There you go. Strut. Strut. That's me. Walk in like you got confidence. Big dick energy. That's what that's all about. Hells yeah. You get it. Strut. Pat. Put it out. It's what you get from women. Is that the words? I don't know. That was like before my time. And Jordan Peterson must be pretty happy right now because they've just reached 100 weeks and not a single arrest from Bill C-16. You know, he went around claiming that if you even criticize a trans person's fashion choices. You will be charged with a hate crime. Almost seems like he was just fear-mongering transphobia in order to get famous, doesn't it? What say you, Rationality Rules? Is this still what you respect about him the most? Probably. And speaking of some more wholesome goodness, want to see some more wholesome shit? Get ready to awl your ass off. Here's a little ferret falling asleep. And yep, boom, dead. Out like a light, you cute little son bitch. Pretty sure he ain't dead, he just out. Just head first, doing a Ric Flair basically. Just bip, yep, woo. So that's cute as fuck. Hope that warms your heart a little bit. Aren't you glad I didn't rage quit the show because I didn't get enough viewers? Aren't you glad I didn't do that? Fucking Dusty. Anyway, what you guys have to say about that? Let's see what the chat has to say. Love this. Yep, that's a cute ass video. Oral makes you pan. Alright, I must be pan as fuck because I love me some oral. Does oral make you a lesbian? Probably. Very scientific revelation. Yeah, I'm sure you're talking about the anal sex makes you gay, which, would explain a lot. That probably explains why I'm 20% gay, because I think my dad must have put it like 20% of my mom's butt. Like, not all the way, just a little bit. She was like, nope. But just that 20% was enough to make me 20% gay. So, thanks, Dad. Fucking asshole. Quite all right. We all get a little emotional and touchy. Yep, I know. Dust up. There we go. Dust up, Dusty. I will try. Real men cry. Yeah, like, I don't want to make it seem like, I don't think men cry, because I cry sometimes. But also, I don't want to make it seem like I'm really, really unstable or unemotional or overly emotional, because I'm really not. Like, I don't sit around and cry a lot or anything. So, it's just that when I get on camera and stuff, and then I start thinking about some of the stuff, it just overwhelms me very briefly. And so I just have to have a brief moment to, like, get the fuck over it real fast. But, maybe that's not a problem. Maybe that's just my insecurities about appearing in a way that I don't want you guys to see me. Seems legit. Yep. What else do you guys have to say? My poor mother. Are you gay? She must have taken an anal pounding daily. So, RR is not a transphobe. Okay. Well, he spreads irrational fear towards trans people. And the shit he has been spreading has snowballed and been picked up and started a chain reaction by a lot of other people. So it's pretty much the number one thing right now that trans people are taking shit and hatred from. So even if he's not a transphobe in his mind, the fact that he is the one mainly responsible for a lot of the trans hate that is hurting trans people right now means that, in a way, he's even worse than normal transphobes, isn't he? Just saying, that's my opinion. We are all dirty creatures. Hells yeah, we are. Hugs, Dusty. Hugs, everybody. Love you all. Group hug. Alright, more super chats, please. Somebody's saying suck my balls. Just kidding. I'll take your money. I'll take your $3.99. You can say whatever the fuck you want to me. I don't care. I'll buy goddamn dog food for that fucking money. Come on. Let us share in tears of joy. Okay. But I don't want to be like a fucking blubbering mess for the fucking show or anything. But speaking of which, there's this like new meme going around where people saying they're going to fucking storm Area 51. And so kind of to tag on to that, an Oklahoma animal shelter is encouraging Area 51 fans instead to storm our shelter. Because instead of this bullshit you ain't really going to do, like storm Area 1 and get murdered, maybe go to your local animal sanctuary or animal shelter and fucking go get a dog and give them a forever home and actually do some good in the world instead of just talking bullshit about dumbass shit you ain't actually going to fucking do, right? That's just my thoughts on the matter. And this puppy is cute as fuck. Wait to see the cutest little puppy prank you've ever seen in your life. Watch this shit. He gonna pull a prank on you. Look, he gonna hide and wait. Ooh, I see him coming. I gonna get him. I gonna get him. He don't know I'm here. Come on, Daddy. I gonna get you. Boo! I got you, Daddy. Oh, you little fluffy motherfucker. God damn it, you're cute. I want him. I want him. You're so cute. Who's your boo-boo? Anyway. You got spirits lifting yet? They should. Unless you're heartless bastards out there. And oh god, okay, well, I guess I'll show this one. Time to feed the bird. Come on, little birdie, come get your food. Who's hungry, little birdie? Are you hungry? You're so close. Come get your food, little birdie. It's feeding time. It's feeding time. Yeah, it's feeding time. Oh god, I don't know what happened to that bird. I hope that bird's okay though. But yeah, it was feeding time, but not for the bird, for the cat. So anyway, hopefully the owner got there in time to make sure that wasn't any tragedy. Bad kitty, bad. Although that's a little bit the owner's fault for having the cat free in the room with the bird. That's a rookie mistake right there, right? And this is cute as fuck too. You guys ready to see some more cute shit? Holy shit, this is fucking cute. This little dog is such a drama queen. He don't know that he's fucking on camera. He's just at home by himself being caught on the nanny cam. And look, he drops his toy on the floor and he looks down at it and he's like, God damn it, fuck my life. Oh, fuck my life. Oh, it's all the way on the floor now. God damn it, my life is over. Cute as shit. Look at that little motherfucker. Oh, I didn't even see that it had audio on the switcher. Look at him. Look at him cry and whine. Oh my god, so cute. I'm gonna fucking shit. And what else we got here? Oh man, this motherfucker was lucky as shit. Like 1 second from being robbed. Like look how he barely gets in here and shuts the door behind him before he gets robbed. Like they're coming in, he don't even see him, and boom! Like 1 second earlier, they would have had his ass. But nope, he gets in there and he locks himself in, and they're like, shit! What the fuck? God damn it, we were so close! And he's like, and they're like, hey, can you open up, sir? Sir, can we talk to you for a second about our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ? No, you can't, dude. No, you can't, you fucking thieves. And I feel sorry for these people that live in this country, where they have to live in cages and shit so they don't get robbed and shit. Horrific. You guys need Jesus. And, oh, this is an awesome fucking comeback here. I love this fucking comeback. This is some fucking anti-SJW who hates people with colored hair because they're all SJWs. Oh my god, they're so evil. And he says, unnatural hair color in women are a warning signal to stay away. It's an example of, what is this word? Aposematism? Is that how you pronounce that? Aposematism? The phenomenon of poisonous animals in nature advertising their toxicity and lethality. Oh my god. That's right. Stay away from people with colored hair because that's a sign they're toxic and poisonous. And this person fucking owns them. You go, Julie G. She says, aposematism is there to warn off predators, not sexual partners. If you're repelled, it's working. And that's fucking classic. That's right, man. Like if you're repelled from a sexual partner because of her colored hair, that's exactly the intent. You're supposed to be repelled by it because you're not a sexual predator, you're a regular predator. You might be a sexual predator, but you're a regular predator, not a sexual partner that these women actually want to be intimate with in any way. So own the fuck out of that dude. And this dude apparently found out that this guy was beating up his mom, and like long story short, don't beat up this dude's mom. Because, yeah, he don't like that, apparently. Yeah, he not a fan. Yeah. Well, just punch him again. Like, I'm usually against that, but, yeah. Don't hit my mom, dude. Learn your lesson. Keep your hands to yourself. And, alright, let's read the chat a little bit, see what we have to fucking say. More super chats, please. I love dogs, more loyal than people, and more forgiving. Yeah, dogs are the shit, right? Definitely prefer to surround myself with dogs and spend my days with dogs. He's mean mugging. Yep, yes. Goddamn gravity. I know. Fuck gravity. My life is ruined now. Mood. Yeah, I know, right? To the Bat Cave. Mama said knock you out. I'm gonna knock you out. Yep, yikes and yuck. Agreed. Alright, let's see what the super chats have to say. The Chuds say we are living in clown world because some of us support minorities against discrimination when in fact we are living... I suspect there's a part 2 coming. Opinions on celibacy. Join the Volcel police force. If you want to be celibate, that's fine. Like, I can definitely see... like just masturbating and watching like VR porn and shit instead of dealing with women or men or both or whatever, I'm not celibate because it's easy. Like if it was any harder for me to get women than it is, I probably wouldn't like mess with it, or not just women, just sexual partners, period. But I'm not because it's so unbelievably fucking easy. Like, not to brag, but it's not a thing really. So, but if it was difficult in any way, I probably wouldn't bother with it. I would just like masturbate constantly to VR porn and not even put the effort in. But anyway, thank you for that. Thank you, and thankfully, fuck is universal. Yep, I know. And thankfully, fuck is... Oh, I got what you're saying. Yep. Fuck is a universal word. I get what you're saying. Thank you for the K. I appreciate that. Very generous. And more super. Oh, in a clown world, because grotesque fascists are running things and loud expressions of ignorance or bigotry are the most popular thing on the web. Yeah, I mean, obviously, if you're actually paying attention, it's the conservatives who are continuously lying and making shit up and living in this clown world, and they're always just projecting. They're the ones that they're the snowflakes. They're the ones that are triggered by every fucking thing, but they just say what they are to the other person because reality doesn't matter to these people. They don't care about the truth. It's all about tribalism. So, anyway, thank you for that, HS Ross. I really appreciate that. And good points. Anything in the chat you guys had to say? Some of my favorite people are dogs. True that. Okay. Well, let's continue on with the show. We're already 90 minutes in the show. It's going pretty well. Here's one for advice animals. I'm proud to be an American, but I still think we could do better as a country. Fuck me. I should leave, right? And yep, America love it or leave it. The same exact people who didn't shut up for a fucking second while Obama was president. They literally ran on the platform that America wasn't great, and now they're in office and saying if you don't love the country, you should leave it. It's just so ridiculous. And like, if a Democrat gets back in office, they're gonna go back to the right exactly the same way they before, bitching about every fucking thing he did. It's just a double standard with these people, But it's transparent. We see through it. Oh God, and this is so horrible. Here's another thing that's going to get my this video is going to be copyrighted immediately. Hopefully they don't take it down. If I show this whole thing, they might take it down. But I'm just going to play this. Anyway, this is so fucking horrible. This was literally nominated for an Emmy. This is Robert De Niro giving probably the worst performance you'll ever fucking see. He's literally fucking up everything and outright reading off cue cards and one of the worst, just horrible. And yet they nominated him for an Emmy for this, which just shows you how bullshit these award programs are.
Night, Don.
Hi, Eric.
Whoa!
Don't be scared. It's just me, Robert Mueller, your dad's friend from work.
I'm not allowed to talk to you.
That's fine, Eric. It was pretty clear early on that you don't know anything.
Nope.
I wish I could say the same for some of your dad's friends.
Like Mr. Pillowfort?
Manafort.
Yeah. And Mr. Papa John's Pizza?
Papadopoulos.
And Mr. Cohen?
You might want to start calling him Federal Inmate 10358.
Yeah, see, he can't even read the cue cards right. How did this get nominated for an Emmy? It just shows you the people that are nominating this stuff, that are voting, they're not even watching this stuff. They just saw Robert De Niro. Oh, he played Mueller on SNL? I bet that was hilarious. I don't remember, but clearly it's Robert De Niro playing Mueller. And we're probably mostly lefties anyway. Sometimes lefties do stupid shit based on politics. So, yeah, let's nominate him. But no, awful, horrible performance. You guys really got to do better than this. But this is why I don't take any of the award shows in any way seriously, because they're not to be taken seriously. And this video, I have so many questions about this video. Okay, let's just start off. What are you... Okay, let me start over. Okay, so she has fire hoops, and she's standing up on some kind of platform for some reason, and she has dropped the fire hoop down over the platform. So many safety violations I already see with this, right? So she just keeps going. She's like, yay, maybe I should jump down and try to get this off there. So she just throws this on the ground, and she can't get it up off there. And so, next thing you know, shit's on fire, yo. Everything should start burning down. So then this person is like, don't worry, I'll put it out in the most sane, rational, reasonable way possible. I will run over it in my scooter. Like, what is going on in your head? How is this helping? Stop helping. And I know this person just thought, oh my God, I'm going to be a hero. But I don't know what the thought process behind that was. How is you running over this shit full speed in your scooter helping anything? Dumbass. Anyway. Questions. I got a few about that one. What you guys got to think about that shit? Russiagate was a scam. Cool. The right is all failed actors. The Razzie, yeah, it should be the Razzie Awards, definitely. Embarrassing. NBC will get you for this. Here's the thing, though. As long as they don't give me a copyright strike, it doesn't matter because it's not like I can have ads in my videos anyway. Excuse me. My channel got basically blacklisted 3 years ago, and all my videos are demonetized by default anyway. So the only time they ever have ads running on them is when people put copyright claims on them, and then they get to make money off my videos, and I don't. Which is why the super chats mean so much, is because I don't make money off this unless you guys super chat me. You know, I'm making, what, $538 a month from Patreon from this. And then whatever I make them super chats, and that's it. That's the entire money I make from doing this. So other people like NBC and shit, they'll make money off my videos, and I won't. Sucks, but what you gonna do, right? And here's another cute video. Here's this pupper, first time figuring out that rain exists, and he's like, what the fuck? Where the fuck's that coming from? What is that? Is the fucking sky attacking me? Is it coming from the ground? Where the fuck is this coming from? I bite you. I bite everything. Oh, you cute little motherfucker. God damn it. So stinking fucking cute. There's no audio to this. I was hoping there'd be audio so you could hear him little nip at the fucking rain and shit. Anyway. Heartwarming. Wholesome as fuck. Oh yeah, here's some scary shit. They're just sitting out there enjoying the fucking balloon festival. And why is this not playing? Play, motherfucker. Play. I would. You had no. I will kill everybody. You don't. Oh my god. You better start fucking playing right goddamn now. You better. Here we go. Okay, good. And they're all sitting out there just going, yay! It's balloon festival. Damn, that balloon's getting big. That balloon looks like it's getting close. It's getting real close. Meanwhile, the person in the balloon's like, yeah, I'm getting close, motherfuckers. Get out the way. I can't control this shit. Move. Get the fuck out. What? Move. What the fuck, dude? Get out the way. Yep. Get out the way, motherfuckers. Quick. That dude don't know how to fucking fly that thing. He is having some technical difficulties. So, best balloon festival ever. That's all I know. And, what is this one? Oh, yeah. Imagine landing from your parachute. You're like, yay, another successful landing. And all of a sudden, out of nowhere, like, get the fuck out of here. Where'd you come from? Goddamn demon falling from the sky? I will kick you. Fuck off, devil man. So, yeah, I'm with the kangaroo on this one. Fuck off, parachuting dickhead. Get out of here. Take off, hoser. Fuck him up, kangaroo. And what else we got here? Oh, yeah, this one was fucking heart-warming as shit. I love to see how just, like, animals of all fucking species can get along with each other. Like, all they have to do is, like, hang out with each other from birth and just realize that they're not supposed to kill each other and they're supposed to love each other and shit. And, wholesome as shit. This is why I'm a vegetarian, folks. Because, you know, animals are pretty fucking cool, in my opinion. I'm a fan. And did you guys know that the two actors that played Ferris Bueller's parents fell in love on the show and got married? True story. Let me look that up. I'll just have to search for this. I searched for this before, so I already know what's going to come up. Type in Ferris Bueller's parents. Ferris Bueller's parents. And boom, yep. These two met on the show, met on that movie, and they were like, hey, you're a tall, good-looking actor. Hey, you're a nice-looking blonde lady. Let's hook up. And they hooked up, and they're still married all these years later. Isn't that fucking sweet as fuck? Hell yeah, it is. You go, Ferris Bueller. I'm glad you had your day off. And I guess that's all the fucking wholesome shit that I... Well, let's see. This says finally funny. Let's see what this one is. Maybe I have something else funny to show you guys. Oh, yeah. Finally, an unbreakable wine glass. Because I know we're all tired of drinking wine with our kids and having our kids drop the fucking wine glasses over and over again. Finally, there's a goddamn solution. Unbreakable wine glasses for children. So, where can I buy stock in this? Stat. Billion-dollar company right there, folks. And, so anyway. What you guys have to say about that shit? The cuteness videos are the best. I know, I love the cuteness videos. I just don't find very many of them a lot of times. And so I end up showing a lot of stuff that's negative and whatnot. But yeah, I'm going to try to have some more wholesome shit. Because I could definitely use my spirits raised from time to time. Thank you for that, H.S. Ross. Another H.S. Ross. I wonder if the double standard of left-wing criticism of the country until not loving it, but right-wing criticisms don't, is sometimes due to sheer stupidity, lack of reflection, instead of racism. Well, a lot of it's, well, racism, a lot of racism is just sheer stupidity and lack of reflection, right? Racism is basically caused by ignorance and a lack of empathy and a lack of, being around people of other types. It's with transphobia. Like, the more you're around black people, the less racist you are, because you realize, oh my God, there's no difference. And it's the same, like, when you're around trans people, you're like, oh my God, it's no different. They're just people like everybody else, right? So, and it's like that with animals too. Like, more hang you around animals, the more empathetic you get to those particular animals. So, I think it's just a matter of, tribalism and not having experience with others. Thank you for that. More super chats, please. And let's see. Much more calm show tonight. I am much more relaxed than I usually am. It's almost like I've taken Valium or something, but I have not. I have only taken weed. And I'm going to, pop, 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 pop. I feel sorry for that fly. He got double popped. It's Mississippi, man. There are fucking flies everywhere here, so I have to combat them any way I possibly. Uh-oh, look at it. You go, fucking bug zapper. Delicious. Love my vaporizer. $10 from D-Dog 2015 says the parents from Matilda are married in real life too. That's cool. I know that I heard that the girl that was in Matilda is the cousin of Ben Shapiro, and she has him blocked. So I guess I won't look that up. But anyway, fun little factoid for you guys. Well, let's see what's next here. We got about another 15, 20 minutes left in the show, and I still got plenty of stuff to cover. So, do we want to cover the religious shit? It's so goddamn depressing. All the religious shit is so depressing. Maybe we'll go cover the Twitter shit first. Twitter's depressing too, but it's slightly less depressing than I was dunking on Rationality Rules earlier because somebody asked him something, and basically he put out this thing where he's like, yeah. So they're doing this Noel Plum thing, where Noel Plum, his entire platform revolves around describing why they should change the descriptions of the different sports categories, which de facto ban trans women from competing with cis women, and that's what Rationality Rules basic his stance is as well. He thinks that some trans women should be allowed to compete with cis women, and some trans women maybe shouldn't yet because the evidence is not out. So maybe just certain trans women should have their civil rights violated. When I just explained earlier, why sports are about a lot more than just physical competition. They're about camaraderie and belonging and being, part of something bigger than you are, so you can belong to the community, right? That's a lot of what sports are about, bringing people together. And so his whole thing is like, for some reason, in certain cases, we might have to strip trans people of their basic civil rights and not let them compete in sports like everybody else. And so, not amazing in my opinion. But anyway, the thing is if you watch his videos and you watch Noel Plum, you watch all these motherfuckers, at first, the thing they kept saying over and over again was hemoglobin. We know for a fact that trans women have an unfair advantage over cis women because they have more hemoglobin. It's 100% about the hemoglobin. Trust us, man. We know we're right. And then it turns out, we looked up the science and we showed them, hey, it turns out that trans women don't actually have more hemoglobin than cis women. And so they're like, oh my God, okay, well, we were still right. We were right about the whole thing to begin with. Maybe we were wrong about the hemoglobin part, but we were right that trans women have an unfair advantage. And the reason they have an unfair advantage is because of Twitch muscle fibers. Now, we were wrong before, sure, but we're right this time. We're exactly right. We know that we're right because of Twitch muscle fibers. And so the science came out, and it turns out that that's not true, is it? Trans women don't seem to have more Twitch muscle fibers than cis women. At least the current science that we have says that. So then they're like, oh my God, okay, well, we were wrong about that. Maybe we were wrong about that, okay? But male puberty, that's the new thing. It's about male puberty. That's the real problem. Yeah, we were wrong multiple times before, but we were basically right. Male puberty. So that's the new thing they're saying now. So it's just like, no matter how many times they're proven wrong or dunked on, or the science, shows that they're idiots and didn't actually look, they always come up with something new fucking to say. So they don't really give a shit. They started with their conclusion, which is what I said here. They started with exactly what their fucking conclusion, and they kept trying to find whatever they can to fit into that conclusion, no matter how many times they're wrong. And that's what we keep pointing out. And where you at, Matt Dillahunty? Where you at, dude? I know where you're at. You're fucking hiding. I'd hide too, I guess, if I were you, dude. And oh God. So this guy is the new king of heightism. You know this guy? Little short guy who has made all us shorties look bad by being a total fucking asshat and being so unbelievably insecure about being short. Like, and I've spoken out about it before. I understand short people are discriminated against. They are demonized. They are made fun of. It is unfair. But at the same time, this is the opposite fucking way to handle it. But anyway, he's moved past being angry, and he's just moved on to trying to use his newfound celebrity to get laid any way he can. So, I don't even have to tell you. Let him tell you himself.
I tried being a nice guy over and over, and all I do is get my mind played with. So, ladies, I do apologize. I'm tired, and I'm tired of getting my heart broken, so I'm pissed. I want to fuck. So if any girl wants to get down, party, smoke weed tonight, and fuck my brains out, and I goddamn mean it, get in touch with my promoter. He'll give. I tried being a nice guy.
My promoter. You got a promoter now. I ain't even got a fucking promoter, dude. This dude fucking killing it, I guess. He got agents and shit. But anyway, I try to be a nice guy. I'm tired of being a nice guy. Have you ever thought, like, for 1 second, maybe you weren't a nice guy? Maybe you think that women owe you sex and shit, and because of that, you're not a nice guy, and they don't want to have sex with you because they don't owe you anything. I don't know, just me, because, like, this guy's shorter than I am. I think this guy's, like, maybe 5 foot tall, maybe 5'2", I don't know, and I'm, like, 5'8", so I got about 6 inches on this guy, but still, like, I've endured heightism and stuff in my life, and people try to shit on me for that and bully me for it and whatnot, but at the same time, you can definitely overcome it, man. Just the start of it is the positive mental attitude, not to let it get you down and not to treat women like shit just because some of them have been mean to you about it. I've had women be mean to me about it because of my height too. Did I take that out on all women? No. I understand that's not all women who are like that. So I'm just, just gonna work it out, dude. Anyway, I feel sorry for that dude. I know I shouldn't. I know people are like, why do you feel sorry for that dude? He's obviously a little troll ass hat. Yeah, he is, but still. Obviously, he's been bullied so bad in his life, and he has real fucking low self-esteem, and it's just sad, it's like a puppy, that just needs love, in my opinion. I don't know, maybe I'm wrong for that. Let's see what else I want to cover here. Ben Shapiro was out here calling Bernie Sanders a villain, an evil villain, because he's a socialist or whatever. It's just so fucking crazy. Yeah, he's basically... Bernie Sanders said, greed is the religion of the billionaire class, and a nation based on greed will not survive morally, economically, or politically. And he wanted to say some other stuff. And then Ben Shapiro responds, greed is literally your religion. You want to steal other people's money and distribute it as you see fit. And he got dunked on repeatedly for this, of course, because basically what he's describing is Robin Hood, right? Is Robin Hood known as a greedy figure in our literature? No. Robin Hood was like one of the greatest heroes, right? And that's what Bernie Sanders is, and that's what he's describing. So basically, Ben Shapiro, who is a millionaire, who got his talking points from billionaires, is now, spreading what his corporate masters have told him to say, and it's just sad and transparent. But luckily, like, he's getting dunked on all over the place for this. Like, Cal Kalinske dunked on him. Giving people health care in college as part of the social contract is indeed very greedy. Thank you for your facts and logic, sir. True that. Get him, Cal. And Cody Johnston from some other news, who's awesome. One of the 7 deadly sins is taxing billionaires so that the poor can get insulin. True that. So he got dunked on fucking repeatedly left and right, but he still got 20,000 likes for that stupid ass tweet. So it's still depressing. right? And this is what he has a problem with, right? This is what Ben Shapiro has a problem with. Heroes like Bernie Sanders, he took a bunch of people to Canada so they could buy drugs and insulin and shit for 1/10 the price that we get in America. You know, one woman said her family saved $10,000 because, you know, our lives are not meaningful to the corporate capitalist society that runs America right now. They don't give a shit. You know, we're a dollar sign to them. They can charge us 10 times what they charge in Canada for the same exact shit because we're just money. You know, they have a fiduciary responsibility to their shareholders to make as much money as possible. They legally have to do that. The system is stacked up against the people. And so until we recognize that and actually put leaders in place who will stand up and fight that instead of leaders like Trump who are actually completely fucking for it, we will continue to get fucked like this, and we will continue to die off like the disposable income we are, basically. That's all we are to them. Disposable dollar bills. Let's see what this is. Oh, God. It's hard to believe this is real, but I actually think this is real. So this person says, Quinn Nordstrom says, I'm flying off to Detroit, Michigan to travel to Canada tomorrow with Senator Bernie Sanders. Regardless of what you think of his politics, this is a huge deal that a top-tier presidential candidate is highlighting this crisis in America. And Hilly Muniz says, who cares? Smiley face laughing. Say no to socialism. And Quinn says, the 7.5 million Americans who depend on insulin daily, the 1.4 Americans who are rationing because they can't afford it, the families who've lost loved ones because of those who've rationed. You can say no to socialism and say yes to the crisis needing attention. And this person says, I know there's a crisis. My little sister died of it last year. She was born a diabetic. I still say no to socialism. Oh, my God. Like, I think this is a real person. Like, my sister literally died, but I don't want to solve the problem because who gives a fuck, right? I literally would rather my own family members die than to fix the problem. It's just retired industrial photographer IBM, proud American, say no to weed, say no to socialism, Trump, Pence, 2020. I know this is going to sound mean, but I think the wrong sister died. I don't know her other sister, but I'm thinking God took the wrong one because holy fucking shit, dudes. Sigh. And sad story today. This is a breaking story. I don't know if you guys heard about this one, but apparently Dave Rubin has been hospitalized after he took in far too many high-level ideas in a very short period of time, per the doctors at the UCLA Medical Center. So the good news is he is reportedly responsive and he's in simple condition. So hopefully he'll stay that way, and we'll keep you apprised of the story as it develops. And, oh God, we showed this chick on the last show. This is the genius Republican candidate who is going to unseat Ilhan Omar. And, folks, this is real life. This is not a parody. This is not fake. This woman with a giant diamond cross on is a real person who's actually running for office in the United States. Let's have a listen.
I'm Danielle Stella, and I am representing Minnesota in the 5th Congressional District against Ilhan Omar in the upcoming 2020 election. The biggest group that I'm going to be working with is the millennials. Nobody else in my district who's considering running wants to talk to millennials. I think President Trump is doing fantastic, and I think we should all look at how great his turnout was at his Independence Day rally.
What's the worst thing Trump has done so far?
My least favorite about President Trump? That's a good question. I could answer that about pretty much everybody else. I agree with President Trump, and I think maybe he needs to say Ilhan Omar is disrespecting our country with 9/11. He shared a video in April of her comments about some people did something, but I feel like he should be maybe shining a spotlight on all these Justice Democrats.
If somebody So anyway, just like nothing going on in that brain whatsoever. No original thoughts. Just a dim bulb barely shining with any electricity whatsoever. And that's our politicians here in America, folks. That's what this country has become. That's what it's all about. And you just have to do whatever you can. Try not to get depressed about it, because you can definitely end up in a warm bathtub opening your veins up. So anyway, how about some more wholesomeness to cleanse our palate from that. This person heard a clang in the kitchen, and they walked in, and I wonder who could be possibly guilty of stealing these cookies. Yep, busted, dude, busted. Got your little collar caught in the grate on the stove, didn't you? Who got caught? Who got caught? Yep. Who's a bad boy, but you're still so fucking cute. We all forgive you. You better get that dog all those cookies right fucking now. And everybody's making fun of Kamala Harris. She was like doing so well, and now everybody's making fun of her because apparently she came out with a new program for getting rid of a very, very limited, small amount of people's college debt when other candidates are running to get rid of everybody's college debt. And so they're all making fun of her right now. Kyle Kalinske says, I'm a big fan of Kamala's Medical for Fred program. It's really innovative to do a round-robin selection system every other Tuesday to determine which man named Fred gets to apply for reduced cost care by 2030. And so, yeah, that's just making fun of her stupid proposals for education. So Kamala Harris's prospects are definitely dimming rapidly from what I can tell. And big story going around that was trending on Twitter was that apparently the Tempe police were saying that in the worst fucking PR stunt ever, they were going to start stopping drivers who were driving well and rewarding them with Circle K coupons for free drinks. And needless to say, didn't go over very well. People were like, no, dude, don't fucking pull me over for driving. What are you fucking talking about? That's ridiculous. And so anyway, they clarified. They're like, nah, we're not going to do that. You know, even though they kind of said they were going to do that. They said, no, we're not going to do that. That's like your mind. We've changed our mind. We're not going to do that. But like, apparently their cops are loaded up with Circle K coupons for free drinks. So they're going to walk around and give it to people. So no. Why are cops walking around giving people fucking free drinks to Circle K? I don't want a fucking cop walking up to me for anything. I don't care if a cop's going to give me $20. Don't walk up to me. Stay away from me. I'd rather not have your $20 than have a cop around me. No offense. Like, I ain't saying like I hate all cops or nothing. I'm just saying I don't want you around me because you're a cop. Like, you know what I'm saying? There's nothing you add to my life that I want to be around because it's dangerous to be around you because you're a cop, you know? Just not something I want for me. And I think most people feel that way. They just don't want cops in their presence or in their lives. So, you know, Circle K drinks are like 99 cents. You know, we'll just spring for that shit, cops. We're good. No thanks. Fuck off, please. And apparently there was another mass shooting this week. Some 19-year-old kid went to a garlic festival and he killed a 6-year-old boy and shot up some other people. And it was reported that he, on his Instagram account, shared a book that many people are calling white supremacist. Now, other people are saying it's not a white supremacist book. And I did look into it a little bit, and it seems like it's maybe a little bit white supremacist. It's not a good book. It doesn't have a good message in it from what I could tell. Now, how tied it is directly to white supremacy, I don't know. And the kid also did say something about white twats. So he specifically mentioned white people in a negative light. So regardless, if he shared this white supremacist book, conservatives are still going to point to his white twat comments to make it seem like he wasn't a white supremacist or that he might have done this as opposed to white people or something. So the whole waters are muddied with his comments. But anyway, that's the story going around Twitter right now. Another fucking mass shooting. Amazing. This is America. And what are we going to cover next? Obviously, this is fucking bullshit. Like, how do they fucking say this shit with a straight face? Like, how can... they're supposed to be Christians, first of all. They're supposed to, like, not lie. But not only do they lie constantly... the people that follow them just don't give a shit. Like, how could you possibly believe this is true?
It was actually out of Fort Worth, Texas, that the policy came that says, oh, wait a minute, our school districts, We want all the kids having one bathroom and one locker room.
That's right.
And it came out of Fort Worth. Are you kidding me? Out of Texas? No way. And then at that time, President Obama picked that up and said, that's a good idea. And so the Department of Education came out and said, if you get federal funds at all, and virtually 99.9% of all schools get federal funds, you will have one bathroom and one locker room. We're not doing this gender stuff. All the kids.
God help us.
And so across America, common sense people said, no, we're not doing that.
So obviously that never fucking happened. Like, how could, like I say, I don't want to say it over and over again, but how could anybody believe this? Like, but people do. I just can't fathom anybody being that dumb. But like I say, we live in a post-truth society where facts don't matter anymore. All that matters is tribalism, regardless of how ridiculous it is. So just gotta do whatever you can not to be depressed, folks. You know, just watch the puppy and kitten videos and smoke weed and watch your superhero TV shows and just try not to think about it, right? Anyway, here's Paul Joseph Watson lying about immigration in order to scare people again, which is what he's doing here. In Gothenburg, Sweden, health centers are running low on blood because of the wave of serious crime in the city, which is, is directly Paul Joseph Watson's way of trying to scare people about the immigrant crisis. This is what he does. He tries to make it look like crime is skyrocketing because of the evil brown people who were helped by Sweden because they're immigrants and are just trying to make a better life for their family. And so anyway, Sweden Fact Check, who busts the fuck out of Paul Joseph Watson all the time, points out there have been 2 murders recently. The second and third in the city in 2009 to date. And they specifically have been cited as being partly responsible for the current shortage of blood. So basically, the crime rate is so low that even having 2 murders like they've had recently is enough to make a shortage of blood. So it's not a giant problem, just anything that minor that happens. Paul Joseph Watson will use it to point out to scare people about brown people because that's what he does. That's why he's been cited by 2 different white supremacist terrorists in trials so far. That's what he's always done. He spread conspiracy theories, and he doesn't care, who he has to demonize or harm, as long as he makes money. And he makes money. He's a millionaire. He makes tons of fucking money. And this has to be a joke. I'm assuming this has to be a joke. But just in case it's not, I'm a racist, a Republican against communist, insane, socialist terrorism. So I'm just hoping, I'm hoping upon hopes. Are you a racist too? No, I'm not. I'm not any of these things. All these things are not as bad as being an actual racist, but not amazing. But anyway, I'm hoping that this was made by a liberal to make fun of conservatives, and I'm hoping this is not an actual thing conservatives make to try to make themselves look good, because CAF, cringe as fuck. In every possible way something could be cringe, this is it. And, this is Mrs. Betty Bowers. You guys know who that is? America's favorite fake Christian. And this is Kathy Miller. This is Trump's Ohio campaign manager. And this is real life, folks. I'm not making this up.
I think there was any racism until Obama got elected. That we never had problems like this. I'm in the real estate industry. There's none. Now, with the people with the guns and shooting up neighborhoods and not being responsible citizens, that's a big change. And I think that's the philosophy that Obama has perpetuated on America. And if you're black and you haven't been successful in the last 50 years, it's your own fault. I think that when we look at the last 50 years, where are we and why? We have 3 generations of all still having unwed babies, kids that don't go through high school. I mean, when do they take responsibility for how they live? I think it's due time, and I think that's good that Mr. Trump is pointing that out.
So just about as blatant racist as you can possibly be. Now, I pointed out many times before, they've done studies that show that probably the number one indication of how well you would do in the future is how much money you start off with, how affluent your parents are. And they've also shown that black people on average have 10 times less wealth than white people, mostly because of inheritance, because of the things in the past like redlining and the fact that black people were barred from the GI Bill and the Homestead Act, and the fact that they destroyed things like the most affluent black neighborhoods in America, like Black Wall Street, and all these things over and over again had a ripple and snowball effect that led to the situation that the black community has found themselves in now, right? Where they are not on the same level to compete with white people and other races. And it's obviously directly because of the oppression of the last hundreds of years. But then you have people like this who just don't give a fuck about reality, right? You know, it's your fault, black folks. It's your fault that the hundreds of years of oppression your people have suffered have led to the situation you're in. And this is the people that are running our country right now. So you just have to try not to think about it so you don't get depressed, folks. Anyway, what do you have to say about this? I know this is a very unusual show tonight, folks. I know I'm very, very low-key tonight. But this is just my mood right now. This is how I'm handling everything right now. It's all too absurd to take seriously. The progressive voice says, who was stronger, Kid, BU, or Mystic Gohan? Do you think the Z-Sword was useless? Was Vegeta the best character? Keep up the good work. Okay, progressive voice. I know the game you're playing. This is some Dragon Ball Z shit, I think. Am I right? You guys always ask me this stuff, and I'm such a fucking boomer. I only vaguely know what you're talking about, but it's like a guy in a yellow suit with big hair, right? And he goes Super Saiyan. Is that the same thing at all? I have no idea. Anyway, thank you for that. D-Dog 2015, $5. The upside about religion is that most of them say that these rich bastards are going to hell with the rest of us. Well, no thank you. If I have to go to hell and there's going to be a bunch of rich assholes there, that kind of going to ruin my whole fucking experience, ain't it? Pass. Dusty, I wonder if you may be willing to platform some vegan atheists, not vegan gains. Love the CODcast. Please continue forever and ever. Maybe. I don't know, like I talked about before with Vosh. When I have other people on the show, I end up taking shit for things that they've done and said, and just kind of answering for my own self is so much easier. So I'm kind of I'm reticent to platform other people, but we'll see what happens in the future. I seem to recall Noel Plum being involved in some other really shady stuff in the past. Do you recall this? And if so, what it was? The first time I ever heard about Noel Plum was when Bering, cartoon bear, right-wing chud Bering, was using Noel Plum as an example in his video, and Noel was basically shitting on me in his video. It was a video about the gay marriage bill that they were fixing to pass in Australia. And in Noel Plum's, I guess in his defense, he was for voting for gay marriage to be allowed in Australia. But the only reason Bering put him in the video, though, is because he was shitting on me about the whole thing when I was dead on, and what I said was 100% true. History proved that what I said was 100% true, and so fuck Noel Plum. That's my opinion on that. Yeah, but they don't get into paradise. Well, in my opinion, any place without Christians is paradise, so sign me up. I was also going to show a video. The show's almost over, but I guess I could show this video. One of these Christians was saying that Jesus is all four walls because there's even walls in heaven. And let's see it listed here. But anyway, and that was making me think, why the fuck are there walls in heaven? I mean, walls are there for two reasons. Either to keep somebody out or keep somebody in. And who they keeping out? I don't think people from hell are allowed to like beam up to heaven and try to sneak into heaven. That doesn't seem like a good, genius, grand design from an all-powerful, all-knowing God, right? So the only other answer I can think of is the gates and walls are to keep people in, right? So sounds like more of a prison than anything else, where you're all going to be able to force to worship Jesus for the rest of eternity, which sounds boring as fuck. No thanks. If hell existed, that would be it for me. So, much rather hang out with the cool people down in hell. Me and Jimi Hendrix gonna rock it out for the rest of eternity. And, here's somebody petting a hyena. Because, you know, even hyenas, man, they just want love. Like most animals, they just want to be loved and find a place where they don't have to be in fear for their lives all the time, where they don't have to suffer and be in pain. So, kind of wish I had me a hyena, although I'm pretty afraid that it might eat my face off, which wouldn't be amazing. Let's see what you guys have to say in the chat. This is your last chance to get in the super chats, please, for this very, very low-key episode of the CODcast. Probably the most low-energy, low-key episode of the CODcast I will ever do. Next week, I'm going to hype it back up. This is like a once-in-a-lifetime event. So, hopefully you guys have not been too bored on this low-key episode, but... let's see. Cult of Dusty. Wait, have you... Oops. Have you not watched Team 4 Stars DBZ Abridged? No, I have not watched. I'm just not into the anime stuff. I'm not really into cartoons. I like real actors. For some reason, cartoons just generally seem too childlike for me, and I'm an adult, so I don't know. I guess I'm not open-minded enough about it. Dusty, your voice is so calm and cool collected, my man. Hell yeah. You guys should play this at night so you could sleep to it. Yep, I'm doing the ASMR. It's going to be my new thing. It's going to be huge. Bread pill community is important, and I think one thing the Trump presidency has taught me is that being totally pure isn't worth losing. Yeah, I'm not all that into the bread pill thing. They don't ever like post me on there, so who gives a shit about that, right? Wow, hyenas are big. Yeah, I know. It's a big puppy. Dusty is a chud, not into anime. I know, right? I'm the worst. Dusty, you coming on Discord? Nah, the show's about over, dudes. I'm probably not going to do Discord tonight. Unfortunately, I didn't really make it. Hey, I got $200 Mexican from Donkey Show. I think that's about $10. For those of you who are like, holy shit, you just got a $200 tip. It's Mexican. It's $10. But it's still very generous. I don't want to act like I'm not appreciative. I am appreciative. I've been thinking of starting a GoFundMe to donate to Ilhan Omar's campaign. 100% of the proceeds go to her, unless she wants to share with Justice Dems. What do you think, Dusty? Good idea or bad idea? Hey, it sounds like a good idea to me. If you can afford to support her, I would definitely support her. Like, all those Justice Dem candidates are doing really good. So, definitely support them if you can. I definitely suggest you do so. Super Saiyan God Goku or Golden Frieza? Golden Frieza, definitely. Because I absolutely know what this is, and I'm definitely a big fan of it. So, Golden Frieza, 100%. That was an easy one. I wrote another parody. Parodies, nuts, aristocrats. Hells yeah. The aristocrats. Buck Melanoma. Thank you for that, Buck Melanoma. Alright. Last chance to get in the super chats. I'm going to cover a few more stories. We're already over 2 hours, but I know you guys want me to keep going, so I'm not going to make you beg me. I'm going to keep going a little bit for a few minutes. Boomer, fuck you. I will jump, dude. This goddamn, you're trying to make me not calm. Don't fucking destroy my calm. You don't want to see me not calm. Hyenas are cats. Hyenas are cats? I didn't know that. I thought they were in the canine family. Okay, learn something new every day. Good kitty. I wonder if they would use the kitty litter box. Probably not. Alright, let's keep going with the show a little bit. Cover the last few couple stories here. What we got here? Oh yeah, that was the hyena. Good kitty. Federal judge threw out the Coveting Kids lawsuit. Remember this smug asshole? I did a video kind of in support of him because I think these kids were like mistreated by this dude and the media, but I don't think that they were $250 million in damages mistreated. So, yeah, fuck all these people. Fuck this dude. Sorry. You guys may like this dude, but look into it. This guy was a piece of shit, and these kids are pieces of shit. They're all pieces of shit, so all bad in my opinion. And you ever notice how the same people that call us NPCs constantly all tell the same fucking jokes over and over again? Gun Girl is like, in a matter of just a few years, we went from bake the cake to wax my balls. What's next? And then Eric Erickson says, we went from bake the cake bigot to wax my balls bigot really freaking fast. And then Steven Crowder is like, crazy how fast we went from bake the cake bigot to wax the balls bigots. And then Rita Panay-Hire is like, amazing how quickly bake the cake bigots turn into wax the scrotum turf. Yes, you guys are so fucking hilarious. It's amazing, isn't it? Like, fucking transgender people really support Eve. They don't. You guys are just using this crazy person as a reason to shit on transgender people because you're fucking bigots, and that's what you do, right? But you're rewarded for it constantly, so it's definitely depressing. Next up, I think I already played this one. Oh yeah, I did play that one. That was Mrs. Betty Bowers. Guess we could look at the Christian stuff real fast. 61% of Americans say that students should be forced to say the Pledge of Allegiance. The Pledge of Allegiance. That's pretty depressing, right? You know, all the anti-SJWs and conservatives want to talk all day long about how the left hates freedom of speech, but isn't forcing somebody to say something against their will also a violation of freedom of speech? How come they never call this shit out? How come it's always just one-sided bullshit to demonize one side of the conversation and the other side, who's doing even worse stuff, doesn't get called out? No, we all know the answer to that question, right? It's a double standard. They don't really care what the truth is. It's about tribalism. And Michelle Bachmann says that Trump is the most biblical president she's ever seen. Because this is real life, folks.
So much of what is happening globally with this acknowledgement of Israel, support for Israel, is tied directly to our current president. Unlike anyone before him, he has shown this kind of support you're talking about and encouraged this kind of prayer for the nation of Israel. I'd love for you to comment on that because I know you have a little bit of an inside track with respect to that and to him.
Yes, I serve on the President's Faith Advisory Initiative. I'm extremely grateful to be able to do that. I want your listeners to know never before have I ever seen a more pro-Israel president. He does things in his life, he says things with his mouth that are dishonoring, but I will say he is without a doubt the most biblical president I have ever seen. I'm going to repeat that. He is the most biblical president I have ever seen in what he does.
I mean, to be honest, she's right. I hate to say this, but she's right. I mean, if you read the Bible, it's about beating slaves and marrying your rapist and bashing children's brains on the rocks and just being all around the biggest, most giant piece of shit you can possibly be. So Trump is definitely the most biblical president we've ever had, in my opinion. So I'm with Michelle Obama. That's not Michelle Obama, it's Michelle Bachmann on this one, right? Next up, they've done a second investigation into Neil deGrasse Tyson's sexual harassment claims, and they didn't find anything. So that's good, I guess. Neil's been a hero of mine for years, and the thought that he might be a giant perv that's going around sexually harassing people was definitely disturbing, but not saying he's totally innocent, and I've actually read like all the things the women said about him. So I'm not going to sit there and say that he didn't do anything that he's been accused of, but I will say that the Hayden Planetarium at the American Museum of Natural History announced today that Neil deGrasse Tyson will keep his job following an investigation into the allegations of sexual misconduct, which he denied. So museum investigation into the allegations concerning Neil deGrasse Tyson is completed. The museum spokesman said in a brief statement, based on the results of the investigation, Dr. Tyson remains an employee and director of the Hayden Planetarium. Because this is a confidential personal matter, there will be no further statement by the museum. So, I don't know. What do you guys think about that? Is Neil deGrasse Tyson a giant perv who deserves to be canceled immediately, or has he been accused wrongly and still a hero to us all? You decide. And I guess I was going to finish it up with this one. Apparently PureFlix, who makes Christian movies, has decided they're going to put out little short movies that are like 5 minutes long to try to teach kids about Christianity and whatnot. And so they made this one about this girl who's getting ready for school, and she's watching this really douchey, cool preacher who's like in his 20s and wearing a leather jacket, because that's what all the new cool preachers look like these days. And he's explaining to her exactly how God owns her body, not her. She's actually just a slave to Jesus who actually lives inside her and controls her. So we're going to skip ahead to a little ways in this. And let's see what it has to say.
And we're part of Him. To be one.
Let me set it back.
That means God lives in us. Check out this verse again. Do you not know that your bodies are temples of the Holy Spirit who is in you? That means God lives in us. When we ask Jesus into our hearts, He's part of us, and we're part of Him. To be one with God Himself. This means that we aren't alone. Christ is in us. He's in you. Okay, now check this out. This is important. You are not your own. Wait. Let me do that again. Did you catch that? Listen, you are not your own. You're not your own. That means that your body belongs to Christ. But don't think that means that you have to do it all by yourself. No, that's not the case. See, His grace works in us to overcome in ways we never have the strength to do on our own. Look, God loves you. He made you perfect in His image. Don't sell yourself.
So, then this dude keeps hitting her up, and he's like, my parents are out of town. We're gonna bang tomorrow, right? And she's like gonna reply, and then she's like doesn't reply, and then she decides that she's not gonna bang this dude, because Jesus is inside of her, and she don't want to watch Jesus banging a dude through her body.
Deserve better
So she
than
keeps,
what the world is selling.
So she keeps watching.
You deserve so much more than what the world is offering.
You got that right.
Got that right.
What?
And her mom's like,
Bye,
what?
Mom.
And he's like,
Love you.
Bye, Mom. And so then this chick goes and throws her phone away. She's like, I'm not gonna bang this dude. I'm gonna throw my phone in the trash. Like, you could have sold that. You could have gave the money to like homeless people or, you know, the less deserving, like Jesus would have done if you didn't want your phone. But no, it's realistic. She threw it away like any normal teenage girl would do after hearing a preacher talk to her about how her body doesn't belong to herself. So anyway, folks, that's America. That's the country we live in right now, alright? Let's finish the show up. Jesus is a thick boy. I know, right? You got that right. Yep. The quote keeps continuing. Yep, I know, right? I like the music. The music is definitely amazing. Everything about this is amazing. Christ is gay. I know, man. If Christ is living inside of me, then He must really like to masturbate. That's all I know, because He does it a bunch. Fucking Jesus. Jesus came inside me. I know, twice. Evidence before cancellation, obviously. Agreed. I assume we're talking about Neil Tyson. So, I hope you guys enjoy the show tonight. What do you guys think about the laid-back show? Think I need to get back on the cocaine and ramp it back up for the next show? Or should I do every show in my ASMR NPR voice? Make your thoughts known to me, because as you guys know, after the show's over, I go back and I read all the chat. It plays it in real time right along with the video, so I play the video and watch the video back, and I read what everything you guys have to say about this. So I'm listening. You guys can let me know what you think, and I'll work it out from there. So I finished up by reading the super chats. Did you see Christy and Kev praise your response to Vosh controversy and your use of it to illustrate how Matt Dillahunty should have dealt with a situation instead of what he did? Thank you, HS Ross. Yes, I did see that. Christy and Kev have their happy hour they do on, I think it was on Kevin Logan's channel. And they did show me, and they talked about me a little bit. And I read the chat in the audience, so their show seemed very responsive. And they were very complimentary towards me. So that was very nice and heartwarming to see that. And I appreciate them highlighting me on their show. DThog2015 says, what do you think of the idea of banning all political parties? If you're elected, you're in only as an independent. I don't know. I've never thought about that. I do think it would be good to get all money out of politics. Maybe each candidate who gets a certain amount of the vote gets a certain number of tax dollars from the government, and that's the full amount of money that they can use. Something along those lines would be a good idea. So that could help in that problem. Good question, D-Dog. Another one, D-Dog says at $5. Patriots love their country for what it does. Nationalists love their country no matter what it does. That's true. You know, like I always say, nationalism is simply cheering for the high school you go to simply because you go there. It's like a pep rally, right? It's totally fucking meaningless. So thank you for that. I appreciate that. Anyway, stop dying that stuff. Don't know what you're talking about. All shows should now be super secret shows. I might do super secret shows from now on exclusively, just whenever I feel like doing a show. Pop up. No set schedule. I don't know if you guys would like that or not. Alright. You like the layback show? Okay, maybe I'll do this more often. It's definitely not as exciting, but it's definitely not as tiring to do. It's so enjoyable. Okay, well, I'll do this more often. It's definitely more chill, and I can just lay back on my wedge instead of having to sit on my fucking really uncomfortable chair pillow. Like, how does a fucking, not chair pillow, a bed chair, how does a bed chair even exist? But it does. Amazing. Didn't he have a bunch of legal bills to pay? I have no idea. None whatsoever. Oh, I got another donkey show. He dumps on people because they are different. Yet Ethan sits there wearing the most ridiculous outfit just to seem different. But he's a run-of-the-mill, bigoted ignoramus. Dumb as fuck, fake as fuck, boring as fuck. Like I said, I've never paid much attention to that show, and this is really the first experience I've had with it. But holy fucking shit, was that boring. And to see 800,000 people watch a video like that, it's just like, huh? I'm missing something. I really am. But like, it's always like that. Like, Jesse Lee Peterson's real popular, and I watch his show, and that dude can literally barely speak. You can only understand like half the word. It's like he's had a stroke. And I'm like, huh? And I watch PewDiePie, and he has like 100 million subscribers, and I'm like, huh? None of it makes any sense. And I guess I'm just old, and YouTube and shit has passed me by, because I definitely ain't getting it no more. But, you know, what you gonna do, I guess. It's just life, huh? Hey, Dusty, I'd love to send more money via Super Chats, but I'm semi-broke myself. I still ride via Patreon, though. Hey, thank you, Beast Nation 2009. That means a lot. Like, anything you guys can do, I know that you guys support me when you can, and I hate to, like, bitch about the support I get, because it makes it something, a slap in the face to those who actually are supporting me, and, like, I really am grateful. And I'm actually doing okay. Like, I'm going to be able to continue to do this for a while still. Like, as long as you guys keep supporting at the level you're supporting at now, I'm going to be okay for a little while. So, the show's not going anywhere anytime soon. I'm just bitching and moaning. I got to get over that. I got to get over this fucking thinking that I have to compare to everybody else. And I got to get over myself thinking that I should be at a higher place than I'm at. It's just ego, and I'm working on that. So I'm going to try to get over it. I knew a guy who got shot in the head. He can speak better than Jesse Lee. I know, right? Me too. I don't understand the popularity of these people. It's really strange, in my opinion. YouTube is much often a cesspool of foolish. Yeah, I guess it's just appealing to the lowest common denominator. And when you put out content that appeals to the lowest common denominator, like, people that are intelligent can understand what you're doing, because of course it's lowest common denominator bullshit, and also you can appeal to the lowest common denominator, so you can appeal to like a much greater range of people, and so I guess it helps to make you more popular. But I don't know, it's just not really my thing. It's not for me. PewDiePie panders not to just kids but to racists. I mean, I've watched a little bit of PewDiePie. I haven't watched a whole lot, so I can't claim to be a giant expert, but what I have seen, I did not find entertaining in any way, and I'm puzzled by it. But I don't know. Obviously, it's not for me, and I guess, you know, different strokes for different folks, and I can't hate on things that other people like just because I don't like it, I guess. What did Ethan do? Fuck you, Jules Black. I know the game you're playing. I am too calm and laid back today to fall into your trap, but I do appreciate you trying. Or maybe you're not trying anything. Maybe you literally did miss it, and I am just reading too much into your statement. Say hello to your dogs and cats for me, Dusty. I will. They're going to go out as soon as we get off the show. We let them out immediately. Because during the show, they have to stay in and try to be quiet. So they've been good. So after the show, we go in there and we let them out and we pet them and love them a little bit. So they're always happy when I end this shit. And I've done a good solid 2.5 hours, even though I was planning on cutting the show to 2 hours. I had enough decent material. And it's always cool hanging out with you guys and just talking to you guys and reading what you have to say and stuff. I really do appreciate you guys hanging out with me. And it's like hanging out with my friends and just talking and stuff, so it's cool. What the fuck, that video? I don't know what you're talking about. You are remarkably introspective, and it's awesome. Cult of Dusty, Acid. When I did, like, there are some stuff that happened in Denver that I haven't ever gone into that I feel really bad about, and there was ways I behaved to people, towards women, that like I didn't sexually harass anybody, but there were like messages I sent women that I'm so ashamed of, and I behaved in such a horrible way, and I did acid a lot, and I thought about that stuff, and it really helped me realize the mistakes I was making and the person I didn't want to be, and so I'm just trying to like improve myself and not be that person anymore, because I do not even associate with that person anymore. I look at myself and I don't even see that person anymore. I'm just totally fucking embarrassed of it. So acid really helped me do that, because when I was in Denver, I took a lot of fucking acid and walked around town and just tried to contemplate things a lot. So definitely a good drug for that, although you can get like burned out on it, and you gotta be careful with it too. You gotta be ready for it. If you're not ready for it, it can really fuck you up. So I like the mellow Dusty. Well, thank you very much. Definitely more laid back. This is kind of how I am normally. Like, I've been talking about for years. I kind of play a character on the internet, and it's more like high strung, in your face, loud character. But the real me is like, I don't even talk that much in real life. I'm just real laid back. I just smoke weed, and I try to watch things and try to learn, and I try to be introspective and better myself. That's what I focus on a lot. So this is more the real me, but I just think being this way, it's not very exciting. For some reason, I think I have to be more exciting than this. So I amp it up for the shows and stuff. But I don't know. I'm open-minded to people like me just being more normal like this. I'm open-minded to doing shows like this more often. PewDiePie is so cute. Yeah, PewDiePie's a nice-looking guy. He's tall and he's handsome for sure. I think his looks are definitely a big part of why he's so famous. You know, if it was me, I definitely wouldn't. If I did exactly the 100% same thing PewDiePie did, I would not be as famous as PewDiePie, because I just don't have that, classic good looks he does. And I'm not an ugly guy or anything. I'm above average, but I'm just not like on his level. I mean, obviously I know that. So anyway, blotter acid is great for road trips. Well, what's the difference between blotter acid? Oh, is that just the kind that's on the pieces of paper as opposed to the drops? Is that what you mean? Dusty, your ASRM voice sucks. I know, right? I'm sorry. I will try to improve upon it for you. Please forgive me. Tried it once. Scary and overwhelming. Not returning to it. Yeah, like I said, you really have to be. You have to be in a good mindset for acid. You have to. You have to be comfortable enough with yourself to know that you're going to stay calm no matter what happens. And it's hard to do that, especially the first couple times you do it. But you got to keep reminding yourself over and over again, this is just in my head and this will go away. Everything that's happening right now is just in my head and it will go away. So if it's bad, if your experience turns bad, you're like, okay, well, it's going to go away. I just got to stay calm and relax and know this is just in my mind. And then as long as you, and also, you also have to continuously remind yourself that you're in charge of what you're thinking about. You control your thoughts, because if you let it, your mind will slip away and you'll start focusing on some really dark, scary things. And if you're focusing on dark, scary things on your acid, you will have a bad trip. So you just got to keep telling yourself, no, I decide what I think. I decide where my mind goes. And then you just guide your mind to go to those useful places that benefit you, like to your ego and to your, your faults, or even your happy things. Like you can just sit there and stare at the sky, or you can stare at a fucking leaf and contemplate how a fucking leaf is basically just a solar panel, right? All kinds of things like that. So as long as you control your trip, you'll be fine. But it's like it takes practice to do that. And you really have to, be in control of yourself to have that power over your own mind. So it's definitely doable though. Dusty is 69% doable. All right. I would say 65, but I would take the other 4 percentage points. Not bad. Dusty, click top chat and pick live chat to interact with chat more. Okay. Live chat. All messages visible. All right. Boom. Did it. Hope you're happy now. Dusty laid back with his mind on his money and his money on my mind. Oh, yeah. Rolling down the street, smoking Indo, sipping on gin and juice. Laid back with my mind on my money and my money on my mind. I was going to talk about also, I didn't even cover this story, but since we're just shooting the shit and chatting and whatnot, I was going to cover how, what's that woman's name? Claire Lemons or whatever the fuck her name is. She's the one that is the editor of Quillette magazine. And someone sent me this thing about how she basically admitted that she's a race realist and that they cover IQ and race a lot in their online magazine. Where the fuck is it? Let me see. I know it's right in front of me. You guys probably see it somewhere right in front of me and I'm not seeing it. Oh, here it is. So yeah, she made this thread where she basically goes through and she explains how she's a race realist and how there are some things about biological race that is tied to IQ. And she basically goes on to say that race is not simply a social construct, which is directly against what the Anthropological Association of America, which is the #1 most trusted scientific body that studies this. They say that race is mostly a social construct and it's not a useful classification for human beings. And they've explained why, and I've explained to you guys why this is. So I'm not going to go into that. What I'm going to go into is I'm going to talk about IQ a little bit because I actually was given an IQ test once. I talked about this a little bit before. When I was a kid, they thought I might be a genius because I wrote a series of papers that people really liked, and I wrote a series of poetry that people liked. And I also... we were given an assignment in class to memorize Shakespeare, and I was given a Shakespearean line, and I memorized the entire thing in about 5 minutes. And I stood up in front of the class and recited it from memory. And it was, "Friends, Romans, countrymen, lend me your ear. I come to bury Caesar, not to praise him. The evil that men do live long after. The good is often interred with their bones. So let it be with Caesar. The double Brutus hath told you Caesar was ambitious, and if so, it was a grievous fault, and grievously hath he paid it." And I remember that all these years for learning it for 5 minutes, and nobody else in the class was, of course, capable of anything close to this in Mississippi. So they thought I might be a genius. So they had me tested, but almost the entirety of the IQ test they gave me was puzzles. They set these little puzzles down in front of me, and here's the thing: like, I had never once in my entire life had any experience with puzzles. It wasn't part of my youth. I didn't grow up, being given puzzles to play with or anything. Never once. I've literally not once in my entire life ever put a puzzle together. And so, like, even the most basic concepts that any child who's messed with puzzles know, like start with corners, start with the side pieces. I didn't have that information. I didn't have that knowledge in my head. So any kid they pulled from their class that had any experience whatsoever with puzzles in their past would have outperformed me hugely in that IQ test. And that's a lot of what IQ tests are about. They're about your previous experiences. And so a lot of it is based on privilege. If you have certain privileged experiences, which put you in environments where your parents are more likely to read you certain things or give you things like puzzles or, to help you before you even take the test, kind of know what the parameters of the test are so you can behave in ways that help you excel at those tests. And so when I couldn't do these fucking puzzles because I never had an experience at them, they basically decided that I wasn't a genius. I was just kind of weird and autistic, which is true. I am. Like, I am a weirdo autist. There's no doubt about that. But at the same time, it wasn't a fair test. Like, if I would have had any of the basic knowledge that these other kids had about how to do this, I would have done a lot fucking better. So anyway, that was my really only experience with the IQ test, and I immediately don't trust them. I think that a lot of it is based off just privilege and bullshit and stuff. And of course, that's just one aspect of IQ tests. They've actually shown that, the gap between people who self-identify as white and black and their IQs have lowered as the education has increased in black communities and stuff. So, yeah, it's a very, very complicated, nuanced subject, but I thought I would just share that little personal experience with you guys. What you guys got to think about that? I'd recommend never taking acid 2 days in a row. Man, I used to candy flip all the time. Candy flipping is where you take acid and Molly at the same time. And, yeah, after you do it for about 2 days, it kind of has diminishing returns. Your, serotonin gets depleted. And so you have to take off a few days and let all that, like, recharge and shit. But, yeah, doing it for a couple days, on and off for a couple months is not too bad. Nah, he's 420%. Hell yeah. Got to be 420 somewhere. I'm not sure if that's how it works, though. Autism gang rise up. I know, right? Autism like a superpower these days. I ain't hating on it. IQ tests are specifically and only intended to measure interquartile differences. Okay, cool. Seize the puzzles. I know, right? Gotta rise up. Seize the means of the puzzles. Some standard IQ tests function as IQ tests as well. Okay, cool. Jacqueline Glenn posted a melancholy vid today too. Weird. She messaged me not too long ago. Basically, she was like, "Where my money? You owe me money. Pay me." And I don't have anything to do with the clothing line anymore. It's been run by somebody else for years now, and I don't even I have my T-shirts on Teesprings anymore, so I don't even deal with the Logic line anymore. So I had to contact the guy that runs it, and I'll be like, "Yeah, Jacqueline wants you to pay her." So I guess he paid her finally, and I told her that I would give her her domain name because I'm not doing anything with it anymore. You know, I still own JacquelineGlenn.com, so I need to transfer that over to her eventually. Still not a big fan of the direction she's taken, but at the same time, it's not all that much my business. So anyway, I have take the same IQ test with 6-7 years in between. One time 140 and 2 times 90 something. Well, that's quite a bit of difference, isn't it? I don't really trust them. I've never taken one in my adult life because I don't give a shit. Not what it says. It doesn't make me feel good to have a high IQ or a low IQ. Basically because I took that test when I was young, and I know I was way smarter than it made me look, so I ain't really worried about it, to be honest with you. Yeah, I know being average intelligence in the Deep South is like Luke Wilson in Idiocracy. I grew up programming in BASIC, and if you don't think about BASIC, it's basic. It's the most basic, dumbass, easy bullshit. It's 10, go to 20, 20, go to 10, just silly easy. But I was considered the ultimate genius. Everybody was oh my God, this super computer boy genius is fucking programming. How is this even possible? How are you doing this? And so it was pretty cool. And also, that's one good thing about being a 7 in Mississippi, because I'm a 9 here. Everywhere I go, everybody treats me like I'm a handsome rock star, and it's pretty fucking amazing. So I ain't hating on that, to be honest with you. Dusty, we talk about the origin of the police and systemic racism. I think I was gonna make a joke about Roxanne, turn off the red light, but guess that's not funny. Maybe I'll talk about that sometime. That's really a deep conversation that I talked about systemic racism a little bit earlier when I went into Black Wall Street and redlining, all that stuff. But that's a bit deep material to get into right now, to be honest with you. Owen Benjamin says his IQ is 164. Okay, well, mine is 264. I've never taken an IQ test except for when I was a kid, but I'm going to assume it's 264. So until somebody proves otherwise, that's what I'm going with. To be clear, IQ tests are not useless. They're very useful. Just none of those uses have anything to do with intelligence as a concept. Yeah, no, it seems like a lot of the things people use them for these days is racism. Only 7 inches? I'm sorry, I'm only 7 inches. But it's thick, so it's not too bad. Dusty's so smart, he Mentat from Dune. Father the Sleeper Has Awakened? That's about I know from Dune, right? I know Pretty Blue Eyes and Riding Sandworms. I remember that much. So, I know a little bit about most things. I just don't know a lot about anything, which kind of makes me like a mid-level idiot, I guess. But I can still be entertaining, so it's all good. Yeah, slave catchers are definitely fueling the industrial prison complex with brown bodies. Okay. My IQ is roughly 106. Well, it's above average, isn't it? It is. I know this. The average is 100. They always move it. Even if the average of society increases, then they just move the average back to 100. I think that's how that works, right? Dusty, do you watch Richard Wolff and Michael Parenti? I watch Richard Wolff. Big fan of Richard Wolff, especially his stuff he does about Jordan Peterson. He dead on. He explains things really well. Like Richard Wolff is what I thought like Zizek was going to be. When I heard all this hype about Zizek, I was thinking, holy shit, he's going to be this well-spoken fucking assassin madman of intellect. And then I saw him and I was like, what? This dude's like Sylvester, suffering succotash. And like Richard Wolff is the fucking man, right? I would love to see Richard Wolff debate Jordan Peterson. That would be badass. I thought 100 to 150 was average. I thought 100 was always average. Am I not right about that? I think that's true, but shows you what I know. Maybe my IQ is too low to know if that's true or not. Let's see. Make sure I don't miss any of the super chats. Nope, no more super chats. Dusty, have you ever heard of the tragedy of Rosewood, Florida? Nope, doesn't ring any bells. Sorry. Richard Wolff and Robert Reich are the shit. Yeah, I like Robert Reich too. Or Robert Reich. That's how you pronounce it, I believe. Also, an amazing dude. Puts up some really good videos. A cool drawer too. Wish I could draw all the way he does. Dusty, in my opinion, Parenti is infinitely better than Wolff even. All right, well, I'm not real familiar with Parenti, so I'll have to check that shit out. I'm hungry. I think I'm going to have to go get me some fucking dinner. 100 is average by definition of the IQ. That's what I thought. I thought my IQ was high enough to know that 100 was average. But don't blame his lisp. I would not. Don't have any problem with lisp. Parenti, McCooney, and Harvey, all kind of better than Wolff. All right, fuck you. I like Wolff. Zizek is off-putting. Yeah, he definitely not a good speaker in my opinion, but the BreadTube people seem to like him. They love his ass. You honestly just convinced me that the race realist convinced me against the race realist IQ gap. I took 2 and got 105 to 115. You shouldn't judge someone intelligent by a flaw by their turn. Yeah, right. It's stupid. It just seems like it's a way to be racist to me for the most part. You are correct. 100 is, by definition, the average, which makes it more funny when racists talk about countries scoring below it. Yeah, I know, right? It's just like what most people don't know about the stock market is the stock market is rigged to always go up because they remove companies that perform poorer and they add companies that perform better. So it always goes up regardless of what the actual individual companies themselves are doing. It's all rigged. It's all rigged. Dusty, you get smarter and more empathetic with age. Yeah, I hope we all do, right? It's easy to do as long as you're willing to learn from your mistakes. Put that ego aside from time to time and just fucking be prepared and okay with being wrong. And you'll grow and mature. My uncle can paint like a photograph. I can only draw Snoopy. I can't draw anything. You know, I have some types of artistic ability, but that's not one of them. Like, I'm a good actor and I have a decent voice and shit like that, but drawing is definitely not my wheelhouse, that's for sure. Dusty, is the Richard Wolff you were talking about have the Democracy at Work channel? I don't know. I don't know what channel he's on. I've seen him on other videos and shit. The garlic situation was fucked up only because it was very safe family environment forever. Yeah, I know. They don't give a shit. These people, that's what they want. They want to make you scared. They want to terrorize you. They want to go to places that you've always felt safe and then make you no longer feel safe there to, stir up society. That's what it's all about. That's what we're fighting here. Dusty, do you like Cornel West? And did you see him on Joe Rogan? Yeah, he's okay. I've heard some things he say that I disagree with. Although, like, off the top of my head, I probably couldn't think of what it was. I just remember that there are things I disagree with him about. I just can't remember what they are, so I'd have to actually look it up to remember. So, which is not very fair, to be honest with you. But that's how the human mind works a lot of times. This is one thing the pickup artist movement says that's actually true, and it's they teach that the girls you try to pick up, they won't actually remember what you said to them. They remember how you made them feel. And that's actually true. People don't remember exactly what you said to them in the past, but they can remember the feeling you gave them. And if they want to be connected to you anymore and associated with you based on that feeling anymore. So that's kind of how it is with everything. And that's kind of how it is. I'm Cornel West. Like, I can't remember why I disliked him, but I just remember there was something there. And that's probably a bias. Like, that's a bias I need to overcome. And yes, I know he was on Joe Rogan's show, but I did not see it yet. I'm still planning on watching that. I haven't got up to it yet. I've been, like I said, I binged watched The Boys, which there was only 8 episodes, which sucks, man, because that show is really fucking good. So hopefully Amazon and Jeff Bezos will hear all the good word that it's getting and spit out more episodes really fast. The spice. The spice. Yep, I remember that shit. Alright, well, shit, we almost did 3 hours again tonight. I did not even mean to do 3 hours. Rosewood, Florida was a black town burned by rights. Oh, so it was like another Black Wall Street? I'm not familiar with that, but I am not surprised in any way that that happened. I think there was another place like that happened too. That wasn't Rosewood. It was some other place in Oklahoma, I think. Or was that where Black Wall Street was? I don't know. I need to educate myself better on all this stuff. Alright, well, I guess that's it. Looks like I read all the super chats. Things are winding down here a bit. So I will be back Friday for Filter Friday. You guys like the Filter Friday? Should I keep doing that? You guys let me know what you think about Filter Fridays. I think it's pretty cool, though. I like those filters. The problem is they don't have a whole bunch of new filters, so I end up using some of the same filters over again. But, you know, some of those, like the jellyfish filter, was pretty cool. So, I don't know. I'll probably do that again this Friday. But if you guys think it's stupid, you can let me know. So, love The Boys and Doom Patrol. I tried to watch Doom Patrol, and it didn't take. I don't know. I didn't care for it for some reason. I mean, Brendan Fraser, I thought he was pretty good in this role. I know he's basically just doing a voice for the most part. And then that other guy that's in Serenity, he is real good. He's a real good actor. Been on a bunch of stuff. But for some reason, I don't know. The show just didn't grab me. Superhero shows just usually don't grab me. Dusty, I found a new channel you should check out for Harriet, okay? You guys can check that out if you want to. Take it easy, Dusty. Much love and respect. All right, much love to you guys. Yeah, Filter Friday's great. Okay, we'll keep doing Filter Friday. And maybe I'll do some more casual shows with my smooth ASMR voice. And I will see you guys Friday. And as always, remember, you guys should support the show on Patreon. There's a link in the fucking description of this video to my Patreon, and we're up to $538, and like you guys, if you can, $1 or $2 a month, $5 a month, whatever you can afford, help me out, dudes. I'd really appreciate it. That'll be awesome. So I'll see you guys Friday, 8 p.m. Central, 9 Eastern, and as always, I love you guys, and I thank you very much for the support. Till next time, Logic, motherfuckers. Good night, dudes.